Welcome to Full Pros Podcast, where we're cultivating culture in the world of basketball. This is your host, Thomas Gipson, and today I'm bringing you guys another episode with a special guest of mine, Stephen Hurt. I've known Stephen Hurt throughout my college career, specifically more so in the end of my career, my senior year at Kansas State. He came in as a junior, and we were, competitive big men. And today's story is very special just because, we've been very, very close, but at the same time, I was real interested to hear how his personal basketball journey has been over the last 9 years, and it's been a very special one. One of the places where he's been to in Japan, it's very, very cool, and I think, learning about the different cultures there and how they operate and how they do things as a business and as a culture, is very, very insightful. Me and Stephen talk about several different things. He's had, like I said, a long-lasting career, but, he's had a couple obstacles here and there, which is very insightful. I think it'll help anybody. It'll help anybody in their everyday lives on how to overcome perseverance and how to be resilient in your craft. He's had a few injuries, here and there. He's also faced some things when it comes to agents and visa things. But, overall, I don't want to share too much of his story. I think he's really told it very well. And without further ado, let's tap into Stephen Hurt's story. Big man, what up? How you doing?
What's good with you, big dog? How you feeling?
I'm feeling real good, man. I'm feeling real good. I appreciate you taking the time to share your story.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
Nah, no problem, man. So, man, we haven't talked in a while, but I'm really, really interested to see what's going on in your world and your journey, man. So where in the world has basketball taken you?
Man, I've been Europe, Middle East, Asia. Right now, I'm in Mongolia. Started the season last week. 2-0 right now, so feeling good. Still building as a team, but everything's going well.
That's what's up, man. That's good. So let's just kick off to where we were in college. My senior year, you coming in, and what do you feel like your experience was at Kansas State for those last 2 years?
Man, it was good. Coming from a low major, getting to K State, I kind of appreciated it because I came from Lipscomb where we getting 3-4 T-shirts a year to where every month K State we getting brand new shoes, T-shirts. So it was a nice change of being at the highest level in college. The Big 12 at the time definitely was the number one conference. So it was good. It was real excited to get there, be able to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So how do you feel like your experience was your senior year? Who was on the roster then? Because, obviously I was gone, but I didn't really keep up after that year just because I was dealing with my own things overseas. So who was on that roster at
Yeah.
the time?
We had, Wesson Wando, Dean Wade, Barry Brown, Justin Edwards, Kamal Stokes,
Uh,
Corby Irvin. Who else? Man, a lot of names. Austin Buckey.
Bucky,
Man, yeah.
Walker Legend.
Who else? Walk on, yeah. Mason Showen, Pearson McAtee. I'm missing a couple guys. Man, who else am I missing? We had a squad. We had a good little squad, young squad.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
y'all made it to March Madness. How did right? If I'm correct, how
No,
deep?
they made it the next year. We lost the quarterfinal of the Big 12 to Kansas, and we didn't get in.
Oh, shoot. So, that's unfortunate. How'd you do against that? How'd you do against that KU team?
And actually, my best games was against KU, both double doubles. I don't know, something about playing Kansas that senior year. Something just clicked.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, talk a little bit, if you don't mind, talk a little bit about that transition going in from college to your overseas journey, man. How was picking your agent, or did you kind of know that you had an idea? Did you even know about overseas basketball? Like, talk about that a little bit.
I had a little bit of idea just because older guys went to my high school were playing overseas, so just hearing stories from them about how things were going, ups and downs of it. But right after finished the season, got in contact with an agent through one of my former coaches, and European agent, so he was able to start pushing my name, um, mainly in Europe at the time. So my first contract was in Finland. Played for Lapua. You know a lot about Lapua playing in Finland. Um, it was a good situation. Started pretty good. Training camp, sprained my ankle pretty bad, so it kind of slowed me down, kind of slowed my progress down a little bit. Um, so I probably played the first 4 or 5 games. Then they decided, change players. So then from there, I went straight to Slovenia. Played with Hopsy Pozella. From there, about I say I got there maybe last week in November.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, really just was able to turn up. The coach gave me freedom to just kind of play loose. We had several national team players, Slovenian national team players, so we had a good squad. I was comfortable. So from there, it was really good. I think I averaged maybe 12 and 8 that year. So it was a good start. Slovenia was a good place for me at the time. Was able to propel me to where I'm at now. So it
Yeah,
was a good experience for my rookie year.
that's that's what's up, man. So let's backtrack a little bit when we just talk about Finland because I'm here right now, and when I go to those Lapua games, man, there's absolutely nothing there. There's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I know that you were in the beginning of the season. You said you had a little bit of a preseason, but you want to talk a little bit about that experience? Like, how was that? Like, just because I know what's going. I know, I know
Man,
what's
it was
going.
a shock. It
Yeah,
was a shock. Like, going from, Manhattan isn't the biggest place, but you got 50, maybe 70,000 people. And then going from there to a place where it's 2,000 people, everything closes after 8 o'clock.
yeah,
Um, just not much going on other than going to practice, going back to the apartment, getting rest. Didn't have too much of a problem with the food. The food wasn't too bad to me, but I noticed it got dark. The darkness. It was
yeah,
gray all day, not much sun. So it was a little bit of an adjustment, first year out. I feel like I adjust pretty well to wherever I play. I can get comfortable, but that definitely it was a little bit of shell shock going there and just such a small place. But
yeah,
for it to be so small, I mean, we had good fan support. I mean, the gym was packed out every game, so that was a good thing. Uh, I had 5 other Americans on my team, so the comfortability factor, having people to relate to, older guys that were able to, help me, navigate through my first month or two, playing professionally, was good. I still talk to some of those guys, which is cool. Lifelong relationships. So,
Who are the guys if
yeah,
you don't mind
it was,
asking?
um, Damon, what's Damon's last name? Damon, Williams.
Oh,
He
Damon
played,
Williams. He's played for a
yeah,
long time. He's
yeah,
a Finnish legend.
yeah. He was almost 40 when we were teammates. Still windmilling, crazy.
Yeah.
Just uh, Dom Morris. Who
Hmm.
else? Jamal Jones. Um, Jamal still playing. Who else? Um, Mario. Is it Mario Little? I might have his last name wrong, but yeah, it was a good group of guys. Most teams you go to, it's only 1 or 2 other Americans, so having 5 was nice.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
that month and a half, what do you feel like you learned about yourself being in an isolated
Uh,
like that? I know it was short, but I know you had to learn something.
I say I learned to, I guess, kind of navigate being overseas. Learning you got to find your grocery stores where you can find stuff similar to America. Get used to walking to practice. Be used to being cold. Gym's cold. What else?
They didn't give you a car or anything.
We had a car, but I mean there was
You had to
five,
share it.
six of us, and yeah, we had
Yeah.
to share it. So it was. Some days, some guys walk. Some days, just depending on how early you want to get to practice. There'll be days where I walk since I get there early, get a little extra work in.
Hmm.
Um, I'd say just trying to find your comfortability wherever you are. That's a big part. Big part of being successful. I feel like overseas is being able to adjust to whatever is thrown at you. Just roll with the punches at times. It's not always great. It's not always bad either. So you got to find that middle ground
Hmm.
and just yeah.
So unfortunately you rolled your ankle, man. It took you out for quite some time, and then you said they just had to make a change.
Yeah, I rolled my ankles maybe the last week and a half of preseason. It was pretty bad sprain. So I set for maybe a week. And then from there, it was just trying to get my rhythm back, starting the season. You know how it goes. You start the season a little rough.
Yeah.
Then, especially in Europe, they ready to make a change. So, I wouldn't say it was 100% the ankle roll, but I wouldn't say that I would definitely say it set me back a little bit. I was playing pretty well before that. And then just trying to get my feet back under me, the early part of the season. Had a couple good games here and there. Like I maybe played 6 or 7 games. But yeah, taught me early that it's really a business.
Yeah.
Uh,
The unfortunate part of
it
it.
yeah, the unfortunate part of it taught me it's a business. So you have to. That was a good shock to my system to understand that it's not really personal. It's most situations it's just teams are trying to win, so they're gonna do what they feel is necessary to get that
Yeah.
done. So can't hold it against them.
Yeah, nah, not at all. But I will say Lapo ain't winning nothing still. So respectfully, you know. But nah, that's
Yeah,
what's up. So you made that transition to Slovenia, and you said that it was a great season for you. You got there around November,
yeah,
December.
yeah. I think the last week in November, jumped right in. I was still already in shape, so it was a good transition. Just getting there, learning, getting the chemistry with my teammates, learning the system. Had a really good coach. He was I don't know if you know Abina Udry. He played for Sacramento for a long time.
Udra, I know that last
My
name. Yeah.
my coach was his head trainer. Like he came to the States with him, so he was good about understanding, how hard to push us during practice. He had the treatment on lock. He would treat us after practice. So it was a good situation. I never felt like my body was overtaxed while I was there. So, you feel your body feels good. It's easier to play good. So, I had several national team players on my team. So, life was pretty easy there. I just had to, play my role, defend the paint, rebound, score, hit my open shots. Yeah, it was a really good situation. I say
Yeah,
good change of
that's what's
scenery.
up. So was
Yeah.
it? So how was your lifestyle there? I know that's a pretty big difference jumping from Lapua to Slovenia. Slovenia is a bigger
Yeah.
country, if I'm not mistaken, right? Obviously it's a bigger country, but was it a big city that you were in?
No, I was actually the town I was in wasn't very big, but it was 45 minutes from the capital.
Okay.
So actually, Nino was playing in the capital while I was there, so I was able to link up with Nino while I was there. So that was
Hey.
good to have somebody. Yeah, me and Nino linked up a couple times. 45 minutes away, so it was smooth.
Yeah.
I had a car, so it was easy to go back and forth on off days, move around. Um, yeah, it was a good situation. Team was winning. We might have lost. We might have went. I played 15 games. We probably went 11-4, 12-3 while I was there. So it was good. Winning makes everything easier regardless of, where you're living. So
Yeah,
it's good.
that's true for sure. So,
Yeah.
how was the weather there? I'm sure it was still cold, right?
Yeah, it was cold. It was kind of in a valley in the mountains. So we got a good bit of snow. By the time I got there, it was already cold. So,
Yeah.
being in Kansas, cold wasn't nothing hard to deal with. We got used to it pretty easily. So
Hmm.
it wasn't too much of a shock. Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. So, how did y'all end up finishing that year out?
Finished third. Finished third. Crazy story is I got deported
What you
right before the
mean?
playoffs.
What you
Got
mean?
deported, bro.
Hold on,
My
fam.
agent at the time, I had a European agent, right? European agent. It was his job to do my paperwork, get my visa. So we played. We had two regular season games left. Played a game, and next day I go back to my apartment. My coach hits me up, says he needs to talk to me. I know I've already been cut, so I'm like, I know I'm not getting cut with playing well. And then proceeds to tell me my agent didn't do the visa paperwork right, so they had got a letter in the mail saying that I had to leave the country in X amount of days. So he was
Yo,
upset about it. What made it worse is the agent at the time didn't even say anything to me about it. I messaged him afterwards, and he essentially told me he didn't know how to tell me.
he didn't know
So
how to tell you, and
essentially, yeah,
this was in the middle of playoffs, bro.
this was a week before the playoffs.
A week before the playoffs.
A
How
week before the playoffs.
how many days did they give you till you had to leave?
Man, it might have been 4 days.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah,
Nah,
deported, bro.
nah, that's
Wild.
that's
So
wild. First
get
off, hold on.
deported from get. Go
So
ahead.
I've never heard that the agent had to do it, had to do the work. I thought the
Yeah.
team itself, they didn't have nobody to kind of like make sure all that
So
immigration stuff was perfect.
years later, now that I understand, how things work, I would figure the team would do it,
Yeah,
but my agent took responsibility for it. So clearly, they had some kind of agreement because he had several players placed with the team. So clearly, they had some kind of agreement. So he just dropped the ball on it. Week before the
bro.
playoff, we in third place. Really had a chance to, possibly get a championship. I'm back
Dang,
at the crib. Yeah,
dang. Nah, that's crazy. I'm sure your teams
yeah,
and everybody was upset, huh?
yeah. So I'm still in touch with a couple of the guys. A couple of them still play for the Slovenian national team. So, I played in Japan. So they came. It was last summer. Came to Japan to play the game against Japanese national team. So we were able to link up. It was cool to see those guys and just reminiscing on that time. And it's still wild. I think we really had a chance. It's unfortunate, but can't control everything. So it is what it is.
Yeah, learning lessons, man. That's definitely a
Yeah,
growing thing, bro. That's crazy.
yeah, wild.
How was the food there in Slovenia? Like, what's their standard
Um,
food? What's their tradition?
It's a lot of like stews type like stews like like potatoes.
Hmm.
We had a restaurant that we ate at 2 meals a day, so they had a good sized menu. We could had pizzas, you get your fish, whether it's steamed, baked, fried, they had pastas. So it was kind of easy to eat there. Had a variety of things. So it was kind of a Western style, American style food, so it wasn't too bad of a situation.
Okay, nothing that you really had to adjust to. Your stomach wasn't tripping.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, no, it wasn't bad at all. Yeah,
That's what's
yeah.
up. So you say the lifestyle in Slovenia was pretty cool, like as far as outside of
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
That's
Like
what's up.
you know how it goes in Europe. After practice, guys going to coffee shop, sitting for an hour, 2 hours, just talking, shooting a breeze. Then we had team meal, good amount of team meals, after games. So they did a good job of keeping the team connected. Um, there were several nights we'd all go out as a team,
Yeah.
go to bars around town. So it was good. We had good team, real good team chemistry while I was there.
Do you feel like the national players kind of played a big role in that, just because like they know how
Yeah,
it goes, they understand team camaraderie and chemistry outside of basketball and keeping that connection.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, we probably had the roster of 12, probably it was 4 or 5 guys played. So, they probably been playing together since they were kids.
Yeah.
So, they're all close. And then they did a good job of like integrating me in when I first got there. Um,
What did they
so yeah,
do?
like,
Were they just more friendly with you? Like they didn't like kind of like move their own separate
yeah,
way, put their arm around
nah,
you?
they were, yeah, yeah. Asking me, we go get food. Like, obviously, like I said, going to the coffee shops, uh, just hospitable, I go to the coffee shop, never had to pay for a coffee, like, stuff like that. We, like I said, go out together. I mean, it's big, just spending time together, getting to know each other outside of the court. Things get stressful on the court. So when you take the basketball away from it, you can kind of, get a glimpse into how guys think outside the court, their lives. So it was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up, man. So we can fast forward a little bit back to this deportation. So Dang, that's crazy. By the way, like I don't understand. Like I think that's the first time I've kind of heard somebody actually having to go through that process of getting
Yeah.
deported. Did they say anything to you like in customs?
Nah, just I got to the airport. I guess the team had already paid. Probably was some kind of fine,
Mm,
situation for being there illegally. So I didn't have to deal with any of that. So that was good. Literally just normal travel. Went to the airport, gave customs my passport, stamped it. I went home. I got home and I actually had a letter from the Slovenian government. I've never paid any attention to it because at that point, what do I have to lose?
yeah,
Still got it at my house. It's a letter from them. I don't know what it says.
you didn't
And
open.
yeah, it was just a straightforward process. Just
Yeah,
it's like normally flying home. Yeah, wasn't nothing too crazy.
that's crazy. So,
Yeah,
um, what about that following year? Did you have a good summer? Like I know, like you had some high expectations. You wanted to win a chip.
yeah,
So, did that kind of flow into your next year?
yeah. Started the next year pretty well. Ended up in Poland, uh, top league Poland. Started preseason really well. Was
You still kept the
in
same
position to.
agent?
No, it was different. I fired that agent. I got home maybe 2 weeks later, fired that man. It's like
Gotta
messed
go.
up the bag. You know what I'm saying? You got to go.
Yeah,
It's part of it. It ain't no personal. It's just business.
it's business.
Probably
Okay.
2 weeks after I got home, fired him. Signed with an American agent. He placed me in Poland. Was in a real good situation. Came in, played really well. I think they were trying to position me to be, second backup, but I had kind of played myself into starting role. And last game of the preseason, went up for a rebound, came down, slipped on the wet spot, and knee was kind of sore. So next day we, do a little recovery day, and they tell me they want me to get MRI. Go get the MRI. They see tearing my meniscus.
Mm.
So then you know how that goes in preseason. You injured. So they told me they were gonna keep me around, just let me rehab for 3-4 weeks, which my knee wasn't really hurting at that point, but they had seen the tear, so like we gotta try to, what I'm saying, do as much as we can to strengthen it. A couple of days later, get the call that they decided that they need to go ahead and change me just because how, it's before the season. So I was there probably for Poland in a month and a half.
Mm.
Um, wasn't a bad situation, but everything happens for a reason. So I got injured probably September. I got there August 15th, September 15th. Hurt my knee. They decided to cut me. The team plays maybe for a month and a half, and the team folds. So
Oh,
it's like
shoot. Like bankrupt, like no team.
bankrupt, no team. So
Yeah.
in my head, it's like everything happens for a reason. That's how I kind of had to look at it at the time. Um, so go home, do my general. It's a little rehab just to strengthen my body. I'm probably home 2 months, and then I get the call to go to Qatar.
Mm.
Got there around right before Thanksgiving. Um, that was a real good situation. Had an American coach, so the language barrier is a big difficulty with some teams. So having an American coach was good. Um, Teammate was Sherwood Brown. He made the run with Florida Gulf Coast when they went on that crazy Sweet 16 run. We played against each other
Dunking
when I was at
everything.
Lipscomb's. Yeah,
That team, he was on that team that was dunking shit like
no,
crazy.
we played against them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same conference. So we knew of each other. So that was good. He kind of knew my game. I knew his game. So when I got there, we started off. I got there after maybe the second game, and started a little slow. I think we might have went like 2-4. Then they changed the coach. We got they signed a different coach. We ran off 10 straight.
Mm.
So it was a real good situation. Love playing the guitar.
Yeah. Who was the
Yeah.
new coach? Was he a local guy or they
No,
brought in
he
an
was actually
American?
a black guy. His name Eric Carr. Probably one of my favorite coaches I've ever played for.
Why is that?
He played. Uh, he just kind of gave us freedom to just make mistakes. Um, I don't know, just when you have that freedom, your coach is behind you. You just can play free. Kind of loosens you up to just play your game. And we had a pretty young team when I was there. A lot of guys still in college. We had a couple of vets. So he was able to manage, we've gotten older now, can't practice as crazy as you used to. So he was able to manage us, manage our body. So we stayed fresh. So game time comes, we're able to go 100%.
Yeah.
And, I think that he kind of dumbed down our offense a little bit too, for the younger guys. So dumbing it down, guys were able to play more confident. And I mean, that led to our 10-game win streak. So it was a good situation.
Nice. That's what's up. So what were your stats there at Qatar?
Man, I might have averaged 17-9, 17-10. I was right under a double-double. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sherwood was our leading scorer that year. He might have averaged 22, 23. So it was good. Couple big breakout games. Couple low rebounding games probably kept me from my double-double, but
Mm-hmm.
as long as we win, to me, it's all that matters. I can have 2 rebounds and we win, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally understand, man. How was
Yeah.
how was the competition there in Qatar? Not that I hear mixed reviews about everything, but I watch basketball a lot, and I kind of see like you kind of get a feel and understanding like what's easier, what's harder.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Qatar Middle East competition was easier or just as the same as European competition?
Um, I'd say Qatar isn't quite at the level of, say, a Slovenia or Finland,
Mm-hmm.
just because I would say the coaching, from a young age, Europeans are taught the game a very specific way, share the ball, whereas in Qatar, I don't feel like they maybe have the base of the coaches that, can teach them from a young age. So a lot of the things that we were doing before our coach got changed, maybe a little bit too intricate for some guys. Coming from K-State, we had to adjust on the fly with stuff. You have to be able to read the game. Some of the guys just didn't have that in them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the main difference. Guys kind of read the game a little bit better. But, my experience was a little different because we had a young team, a lot of young guys. So, with a more veteran group, things kind of run more smoothly. But I think that's the coaching is the main difference.
Yeah.
I think, for sure. The youth coaches, yeah.
Yeah. So how were you able to mentally kind of handle that going from a situation like a Slovenia where it's a lot of veterans, a lot of national team guys, and then going to a younger team in Qatar and then being able to handle that?
Um, guess I kind of found my voice a little bit more. Just learned to, we all 5 guys on the court have, direct effect on how successful we are. So, if one guy is not doing his job quite at the level he should, you got to be able to learn to speak up and say it in a certain way to where they understand, where it's not too confrontational. I think it helped me kind of find my voice as a leader a little bit while I was there. Also, like, yeah, I'd say suggesting on the fly, coaching change in the middle of the season, learning the new system, was able to, be able to, I'll say it, uh, just adjusting, just be able to adjust, basically.
Yeah,
Things not always aren't always going to go perfectly, so just got to be able to, go roll with the punches and try to be successful as possible. Yeah.
for sure. I see what you're saying. I feel like for me personally, the kind of these past couple years I've been dealing with, younger teams, and like you said, you got to be able to voice that leadership, especially knowing where we coming from with that K-State Bruce Weber background / Frank Martin. You gotta, you can't just drill it to them like right away. You know what I'm saying? You kind of
Yeah.
got their way into it. It's a different era, when it comes to these younger guys, and so I totally get it, man. I totally get it. So, how was the lifestyle in Qatar, man? Like, I hear a lot of good things about Middle East, but then I also hear I hear mixed reviews. You know what I'm saying? So, how was your experience outside of basketball in Qatar?
I mean, I love Qatar. I mean, it's a little bit more Western than most Middle Eastern places. So, like, uh, food wise, like, there's restaurants I was eating Qatar, American restaurants I'm eating Qatar that we don't even have in Tennessee. So pretty much any food, American food you wanted, you could find. it's a big city, so there's a lot to see, a lot to do, a lot of like history, like historical sites you can go visit. There's a good expat community, so like trying to get around. If you want to get around other Americans, it's easy to do. It's a melting pot there. You have Europeans, Americans.
Mm.
You obviously have your Qataris. Um, so a lot of my teammates had Qatari passports but were Egyptian. So there's a good mix of people. Um, Obviously, as you know, in Qatar, you play one city. All the teams are in, one city. So you play all your games at one gym.
Oh,
So
okay.
not having to travel, didn't have to travel. So, that's a big part of it,
That's
staying a
tough.
little bit more fresh. Yeah. Without having to travel. So, all the Americans, we hang out, sometimes go out together, cookouts. So it was a good experience, we all kind of had each other's backs in the sense, we're fighting against each other in the court, but outside the court, everybody was cool. We're hanging out, you know, sharing restaurants. Oh, I went here today. It was good. And so, just having, it's overall just a good experience. It was good.
Yeah. I'm personally real big on the food. Did you ever try any of the local food there? Like I know you said you had the
Yeah.
American restaurants, but was the local food good? Middle Eastern food? It was
Oh,
solid.
crack,
Qatar?
crack.
Yeah.
Like the shawarma. I
Almost
probably
did.
had, man, right beside my apartment. So, it was every other day I'm in there. And they had these other type of dishes. It was like a flatbread almost,
Mm-hmm.
stuffed flatbread. Man, every other day I'm in there. Yeah, Qatari food was good, man. I mean, overall, I played in the Middle East several years, and some of the best food that I've been able to eat.
For
It's
real.
clean. Yeah, I mean, it's halal, so it's processed well. Um, no pork.
Yeah.
I don't eat too much pork anyway, so going there with the no pork situation wasn't too bad. Uh, yeah, very seasoned well. Yeah, food in the Middle East, Qatar specifically, was really good.
I ain't gonna lie, you make me want a chicken shawarma right now. But I
Man,
can't,
I'm gonna be craving it now, man.
unfortunately I can't really get it that well here in Europe, but it's whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Nah, that's what's up, man. So besides, the basketball, you being cool with the Americans, was there anything else interesting that happened in Qatar? How was the sightseeing? Did they have good views? Did they have bigger, it was a bigger city, like, you know?
yeah. Um, it's a pretty big country. I mean, it's an island, but there's a lot to see. I mean, they have a lot of like historic districts, like soup. They call them souks. So like they've been around for hundreds of years. So just walking through them, you can kind of see the history of Qatar. Like they have their National Independence Day, Qatari. It's like Qatari Freedom Day.
Mm,
Just seeing how the people show out. It's like their Fourth of July.
mm-hmm.
Like it was a crazy to see. Like it was people go hard about it. Parades in the streets, people walking up in those streets, flags. So it was cool to see. What else? There's a lot of man-made. Like they kind of just went in the middle of the desert and built the city. So
Yeah.
while I was there's a lot of construction going on. So there's a lot of newer buildings, newer things to see. Uh, I live, the Bellagio, and they have the Bellagio in LA or in
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas. They have a Bellagio there, same exact setup.
Mm.
So I've never been to Vegas, so I was able to, kind of experience that. It's not Las Vegas, but it was kind of cool to see. The canals going through the mall, people riding the boats.
That's what's up.
Um, yeah, it was cool. Seeing, people wear the traditional, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the white robe.
Yeah.
Uh, you see that every day. I was trying to get one, but never was able to go to a tailor and get one made. It's something I still want to do.
I was about to
Um,
say, did you get
yeah.
one, man?
Nah, that's something I still want to do if I ever get back.
Yeah.
Um, cause I mean, they mainly wear them because of the heat. It's crazy hot there.
Mm-hmm.
Like hot to the point to where during the summer, like I got there October and it's still 100 degrees in the morning. It's 100 degrees in the morning.
My
So if
goodness.
you don't, if you raise your window, leave your windows all the way raised up, like your windows will burst from the pressure and the heat. You walk outside for 5-10 minutes, you have a sunburn and your forehead will be peeling because that's how hot it gets.
Mm.
So like they wear the robes because it keeps you cool. You know, the white reflects the heat.
Mm.
It's a big part of it. So yeah, that heat was different for sure.
Bro, that's crazy because I didn't even know that. I was wondering why, in the culture that they wore those robes, and I'm thinking they hot themselves. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah, that Middle East heat is different.
For real. Did it and
Yeah,
it never goes away, huh?
I mean, around December, January, it was like you have to wear like at night a light jacket. It might get to 70, 65, but it never got cold. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go
Yeah,
out in shorts with a jacket and you'd be all right.
yeah. Nah, that's what's
Yeah,
up, man. So how did
yeah.
you finish out? I know y'all said y'all went like 11-4 or something like that, like to finish it out. Did y'all go into the playoffs?
Now we missed the playoffs by like percentage points. We were tied for, I think the top six teams got in, and we lost on like percentage points.
Mm,
So no, we missed out on percentage points, but still had the cups. Like out there, you play the regular season, playoffs, and then there's two cup tournaments after the season. You have like the it's like the League Cup, and then there's also the I want to say the Governor's Cup or something like that, something put on by the government.
okay.
So yeah, we still had opportunities to play. So
Okay. So then when the season was over, like y'all went straight into preparation for the cup games?
yeah, I mean, I came home for maybe 3 weeks, flew home for 3 weeks, and then came back and maybe practiced a week or two, and then we were right back in action with the cup.
Oh, okay. They
Yeah,
gave you a nice little break like that, huh?
yeah.
How was that flight? What if you remember what routes did you take? Was it a tough flight to get into the Middle East like that?
Um, it's not as crazy as coming to Asia. I want to say it might have been like 20 hours, 21 hours.
Mm,
Usually, I think I flew maybe to Paris, and then from Paris straight to Qatar.
okay.
So it's not terrible. You know, it's long, but it's not as bad as like coming to Asia where you're sometimes 30 hours, whole day, day and a half.
That's wild. That's wild. We
Yeah.
definitely go to that Asia talk here in a little bit. But did y'all were y'all able to win any cup games? How did that go?
We went 3-2 in the cup, and I want to say we lost. It was the semifinal because you do pool play first.
Mm-hmm.
So we played like five games, went 3-2. I only played the first cup. They decided to go a different route with the second cup. But we went maybe 3-2, lost the semifinal. It was a close game. Um, it was a good experience, you know.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So after that year, where did you land?
The next year, I initially went to Indonesia and played in the Asian Basketball League with CLS Knights.
You want to talk about that a little bit? How was that
Yeah.
experience? So we know,
It was a good
I only know Martavis Irvin that played in
yeah.
Indonesia, but I heard some good things about Indonesia these past couple years.
So the ABL had 10 teams. Each team is in a different country. So like my team was based in Indonesia. You had a team in Vietnam, team in the Philippines, team in Macau, team in Hong Kong, uh, Singapore. Where else? There's two teams. Another team in China. I
Mm.
want to say Thailand. So every away game, you're traveling to a different country.
Yeah, that's
So
so you got
yeah,
we
it was good.
Asia.
Yeah. So like, we're flying in 3 days before the game, so you're able to kind of experience the city a little bit. Like say for instance, we play on a Friday. We would get there on Wednesday. We probably would practice in the morning, get there Wednesday. Um, you have Wednesday night to just kind of experience the city. Thursday practice, preparation for the game, meetings. And then Friday you play, and then Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning you fly out. So you have a good amount of time to kind of experience wherever you're playing. So it was a good situation.
How was your experiences going from um, going from Qatar to Asia now? You feel like it was a
Uh,
bit of a culture shock?
Not necessarily. I would say going from not having to travel to every game you had to take international flight with a layover. That was a little bit. I'm not gonna say a challenge, but something to get used to. You know, 'cause we always had to fly through Malaysia, so you're always gonna have two flights wherever you go. Um, so to try getting you back used to traveling, flights, uh, being able to find, the proper food for pregame, um, getting adjusted to that. What else? The culture shock, it's not too much of a difference. The people really hospitable, wherever I've been in Asia. So it wasn't too bad of a culture shock going from the Middle East to,
Yeah.
to Indonesia. We had a great crowd, fan support. So people were very hospitable.
hmm Yeah, I know one thing for sure. When you see the fans all they love basketball, and I know they love the culture when it comes to it. So I
Yeah.
can see how they're hospitable. How was Do you feel like how was the food in Asia? You know, like, do you feel like that was a little bit different? Like, I see some things that be, whoa, you
Yeah.
know, I
Um,
gotta love the sushi though, right?
yeah. Indonesia, the food is, I'd say it's similar to kind of like Thai food. They use a lot of spice, like, chilies, a lot of nuts in their foods. Um, Fortunately, the city I lived in had a good amount of like American options, so I didn't eat too much of the Indonesian food. I was more sticking to my stuff I know.
hmm
Um, Live right by a mall. Like, gym was right by a mall, so we were able to go right after practice and get sushi, whether we wanted sushi, shawarma, burgers. So the adjustment with the food there wasn't bad at all, just because I had a lot of options, stuff I was used to already in the crib.
Yeah. Do you feel like the food is fresher there
Uh,
than other places?
I would say it was similar. I'll say when it comes to the meat and stuff like that, obviously, like, America, we using steroids and stuff.
Yeah.
So chicken is, you get chicken wings, they're smaller, stuff like that. Fresher, in a sense, yeah. In the sense
Yeah.
of there's less preservatives and things in the food. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's what's up. So, talk a little bit about the competition when it came to playing in those different countries and those different leagues. Do you feel like jumping from country to country? You said, one team in Hong Kong, another team in China, another team in Philippines. Do you feel like they all had different play styles within themselves?
Yeah, for sure. Like, team in the Philippines was real good. They had, you probably know Ronaldo Balkman.
Yeah,
Um,
he's always playing
he
over
was
there.
with the Yeah, he's with the team in the Philippines. They had a good squad. I think they won it that year. No, 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 no. My team won it that year because I ended up leaving midway through the season. Um, they had a great team. I mean, they were number one most of the season. You go to like a team like a place like Vietnam, like we played in Vietnam. The game is a little bit faster, more transition. Uh, Playing China, physical. They were calling less fouls. Um, my team, we kind of were a mix of getting up and down the floor and half court sets. We had a former NBA coach or NBA player as a coach, so he had a system was good. Um, we had our three Americans. We had got Brandon Jawado. He's Indonesian American. He has the passport, so we counted as a local. So
hmm
we kind of had an upper hand in the sense of we have an American with Indonesian passport. So yeah, man. I mean, it varies. Like China, I feel like the games were a lot more physical. They're calling less fouls. Uh, Vietnam up and down. Where else did we play? Um, yeah, yeah, it was good.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
just different places for sure. Different play styles.
It is. How you
Yeah.
feel like you personally fit it in, with your team? And, were you able to, did you have to make adjustments? Did y'all have a young team at the time or were they experienced?
Uh, Kind of a mix. We had a group of young guys, and at that point I was 20, 25, 26. So not a vet, but not super young guy. So we had a couple. Maxi Esho, he may be a year or two older than me. He played at UMass, so he had been in the league several years, so he knew how the game worked there. So just a couple another guy, Monte Brandon, played at Florida State. Um, so we had guys that knew how to play, so it was it was a good situation in the sense of no one was really selfish. We all kind of shared the ball. Every game it was a different guy's game. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously, coming from the level we played at in college, you expect guys to know principles of the game, and sometimes they're just not taught at a young age. The principles like we're taught them. So there's still some coaching to do in the sense of telling guys where to be defensively, rotations and things like that. But I feel like that's anywhere you go, you're gonna have guys that have to be coached up a little bit. So we had a little bit of that. I want to say we started like 2-2. Um, Maybe won 2 games, 2 or 3 games in a row. So started a little slow. I think
Hmm.
that's probably what led to me and a couple of other guys getting changed. But several good games while I was there. I think just they had an expectation of us to start hot, stay hot. We started a little slow, so that kind of led to the changes.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question, man. Do you, like you said, when people aren't necessarily, when other guys aren't necessarily taught like how we were taught, do you feel like personally it's up to you to teach them and help them during that season, or do you feel like that should come with the coaching staff and the culture?
I would say I, I feel like it should be more on the coaching staff in that sense, but at the same time, you know, us knowing the game, we kind of have to help in the sense of being coaches on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, like I've had situations, maybe not there, but not in Indonesia, but where guys don't know rotations. I
Yeah.
tell the guy, "Oh, you got to be there to help," and he's like, "Well, my man's here." It's like, "Well, the ball is the most important thing. Man with the ball is most important." So I'm having to tell the coach, we need to do the shell drill. They have no idea what shell drill is.
Yeah.
I have to teach them. I have to teach the coach what shell drill is. Situations like that.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. So it's like, I don't know, it varies. Depends on, the coach you have. Like the American coaches, obviously they're going to know the game well. They're going to teach the game how we're taught in America.
Hmm.
So I think in situations where I've had local coaches is where I have to do more of the teaching
Yeah.
in the sense of, I'm not going to say I know more than the coach, but we've been at this so long that, we know how the game is supposed to be played. Just the basic principles of the game. So if I can help my teammate be in the right spots, he's just going to help me in the long run.
Yeah. That's crazy because I'm personally kind of I don't mean to don't bring it to me, but I'm personally kind of going through that myself. It's just having to teach the game. And I got a couple guys that have played high level basketball. Oklahoma State, Georgia, but at the same time, I think we were just taught a little bit more different. And another question for you is: do you feel like in those situations? I know you said like you don't know better or know more than the coach, but do you ever feel like you ever got that energy from the coach, like, oh, you trying to take my job, or you think I don't know what you're doing, you think you're better than me, woo woo woo? Like you feel like you've had that before?
Uh, Maybe my first year in Japan. I don't necessarily think it was the coach feeling like we were trying to take his job, the Americans teaching the other guys. I just think it was more the locals weren't receptive to him. I don't
Mm.
feel like they didn't like necessarily like playing for him,
Mm-hmm.
so they weren't as receptive to what he was trying to teach.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's more of that. That was the only situation where I kind of felt that. Most of the times I just feel like if we want to be successful as a team, it doesn't matter who's getting the point across. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's the coach, whether it's a player, I just feel like as long as you are receptive to what's being said and know that at the end of the day, we're all trying to have the common goal of trying to win a championship, win every game, then, that's all it should be,
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that. But I
Yeah.
mean, I get it. So how do you feel like you finished out there? I know you said you didn't finish the whole season there in
Yeah.
Indonesia. What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We lost a game in China. Um, and like I said, we were maybe 3-3, 2-2. Like I said, I think they just expected us to come out the gate hot. Um, had a game where I might have had like 10-10 after the game. They have a meeting, tell me that they're going to go a different way.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, from there, just went back home for a couple of weeks. It was right before Christmas. It might have been the week before Christmas. So just went back home. Uh, then I was maybe there a week and got the call to go to Turkey. So
Mm.
I didn't have much downtime, so that was good. Still had to stay locked in, stay working out. So only having a week was good. In the sense of keeping my body in shape. Didn't have much time to just get out of shape.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got a question for you. Do you feel like in these situations, saying that you were let go, obviously, there's nothing that you can do and it's not in your control. How do you feel like you handled it mentally? You feel like you let it go? Did you ever take anything personal? Because I know you were
Uh,
producing, but it's just not the expectations that they feel like it should be.
yeah. Um, I wouldn't say I took the Finland situation personal, just because I'm a rookie. I didn't fully understand the game at that point. Um, Still learning, how to be a pro. When it came to Indonesia, I felt like it was kind of premature. So I'm not gonna say I felt this type of way. Obviously, you don't want to lose your main source of income,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt like it was premature. I feel like the team they gave us more time to, um, continue to gel as a team, figure things out. I think we would have been completely fine. Still would have been successful. But you know, uh, I wouldn't say I was too upset about it. Um, but I just was, once I got cut, my mind always usually, those first couple situations, it switches to, okay, I gotta lock back in and be prepared for the next situation.
Yeah, and it's actually a good thing that you really don't even have a lot of time in these situations to where you sitting at home thinking about it. So
Yeah,
kudos to the agent for getting you right back on track. So
yeah,
I remember you playing in Turkey a little bit, man. I think you were really killing it at Yalova, right?
yeah,
At Yalova, yeah.
yeah,
How was that experience
yeah.
for you?
It was good, getting back to Europe. Obviously you played there, so you understand it's a good high level of basketball. Um, Locals know how to play the game. So that was nice in the sense I got there and, um, just able to step right into my role, and my teammates were, helpful in the sense of didn't have any selfish guys. Um, we had a mix of young and old, so I was
Hmm.
kind of right in the middle, so like kind of bridge that gap. Um, when I was at JUCO, one of my teammates was Turkish, and he was already on the team, so like I kind of had somebody I knew there, so that was good.
That's what's up.
Um, yeah, um, yeah, man, Turkey it was good. We didn't win as much as we should have. I got there halfway through the season, so they were already kind of struggling. But just getting my foot back into a high level of basketball. Um, Was able to learn my coach. He coached in the EuroLeague level, so he had a lot of good things he taught me. Um, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed. We didn't win like I feel like we should have, but I enjoyed my time there for sure.
Yeah. What about outside of basketball? Do you feel like the lifestyle was good? Do you feel like it was a little bit like, I wouldn't necessarily say like Middle East, but was it anything? No culture shock in that point, right? Because I know the
Yeah, not
food was probably about the same, right?
yeah. I mean, I feel like Turkey is a half Europe, half Middle East. You
Mm-hmm.
have your European customs, European foods, But then, like we talked about shawarma, if I want to go get a shawarma, I can go get that easily, you know. And being in Yalova, 45 to an hour 45 minutes to an hour ferry ride from Istanbul.
Yeah.
So we were able to, you know, get to Istanbul. It's like New York, basically. I call it the New York of Europe because of so many different types of people that live there. You can find such a big city. I was there for 6, 7 months, and it's just so much of the city you weren't able to see. So that was good in the sense of, you know, we played home all our home games were Friday. They would time the game so people could catch the last ferry. We'd have the weekends off, so you're able to go spend time, you know, exploring the city. Istanbul has so much like to see to offer, like historical things. Such an old city, like it was a good experience in the sense of getting back to a bigger city and just, you know, feeling more comfortable coming from Alapua, you know.
Yeah. How'd you handle that traffic there in Istanbul? You know that shit's
Man,
crazy.
traffic was crazy.
That's
Man. Luckily they had the train, so like we had a manager, our team manager, kind of I wouldn't say the GM. He was real cool. Had an apartment in Istanbul, so like when I first got out there, he took me to Istanbul, showed me all the, you know, how to get around, how to move around with the trains, taxi apps. So yeah, I didn't have too much of a hard time getting around, you know, just using the trains. He was kind of centrally located, so it was easy to get to wherever I wanted to go. Was able to meet up with, you know, some of the other Americans out there. That had been out there, so they were able to show me things. So it was good. It was real good.
Did you ever drink any of the Turkish coffee?
Man, that stuff is like it's like espresso times 10, man.
Times 10, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You get ultimate
Talking
dip.
about with the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That stuff is strong, man.
Strong. Strong. And they
Yeah,
drink water there, bro.
man. It's like if I drink a cup of that after 4 o'clock, I'm up. Ain't no
Yeah.
going to sleep. And they out at 8 o'clock at night drinking that coffee, and it's just like tea to them. It's crazy.
Turkish tea. Turkish tea is
Yeah,
good too.
yeah. Everywhere you go, a little cup of tea.
hmm Complimentary.
Yeah, yeah,
I do miss Turkey in some ways. I got a good friend out there that I still keep in touch with, and you know we talk about Turkey all the time, bro. All the
yeah.
time. So how'd
Yeah.
you feel?
I had
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was saying my experience in Turkey was great. I can't complain at all.
Yeah. How do you feel like it? How do you feel like you personally did on the court?
I think that was one of my best years, honestly. Coming off of Indonesia, where, like I said, we started slow. To get there, I feel like I jumped right in and caught my rhythm fast. You know, the coach coaching at a EuroLeague level. He was an assistant, but the system was good. It kind of fit how I play. You know, inside, outside. Um, had good teammates. You know, like I said, I've never had any kind of situations where my teammates were selfish. You know, didn't want to share the ball. So
Yeah.
if I was hot, they would feed me the ball. So I was able to, you know, really catch my rhythm. Um, yeah, man, it was good. It was good. Wish I could have been there the whole year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like Turkey. Just like you said, we were able to get the weekends off. You get to experience the city. You get to play once
Yeah,
a week. You know what I'm saying? And it's decent competition, I would say. Wouldn't you say? Like
yeah, yeah,
they play hard, they play aggressive.
yeah.
Can't I learned that you can't really get on their bad side, otherwise they'll take you out. I got taken out a couple times, you know. But that's everywhere, man. So
Yeah.
did I make the playoffs?
Nah, we didn't make the playoffs.
Mm,
We might have finished second or third to last. I don't quite remember. Yeah, it was
mm,
a struggle. When I got there, they were struggling. So I'm not gonna say I came in I don't think they brought me in as a savior for so to say. But I think they had the expectation of we're just trying to get as many wins as we can, just trying to build for the next couple of years. Because I mean, the year after I left, I think a year or two after I left, they end up moving to the top league. So I
hmm
think it was more of a at that point it was more of a building phase for the team.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah,
feel like you handled losses? How do you handle losses personally, especially like when you say you're on like an unfortunate losing team like that? Like, do you feel
yeah,
like losses get to you after a while, or what do you? How do you feel like the energy
yeah.
are and stuff?
Personally, win or loss, I feel like I'm gonna come into practice or training and do what I do. Just because whether we win or lose, we can get cut at the drop of a hat. So you got to try to stay as professional as possible. But obviously, the losing takes a toll. Just after a win, anything can happen. You're good, but a loss, everything's kind of magnified, whether it's good or it's bad.
Yeah.
Um, I think. Tell me the question. Say the question again.
No, I was just saying like how you personally handle the losses, after a while, because this is really about you. You know what I'm saying? People want to know more, how you feel and how you,
Um, Personally, I don't watch after a loss. Usually after a win, I don't watch the game until 2 days later, just so
okay.
I can like center myself because I'm I'm the type that plays replay in my head after every game, whether it's a win or a loss, especially after a loss. So I try to take time to bring center myself, realize that um, still have another day to play, still playing the game I love. Um, so I just try to not get too high, not get too low. So I take a day or two just to try to relax, whether it's a win or a loss, and then I'll watch the game, go back over what I think I did bad, what I did good. And I'm pretty hard on myself in the sense of after a loss, I think I played bad. And then you go back and watch the film, and it's a loss, obviously, but it's like, okay, I didn't play as bad as I thought. Everything's magnified. So I just
Hmm.
try to, I just try to not get too high, not get too low. 'Cause at the end of the day, you still got to play on a Friday, you lose, you're going to play the next Friday. You got to try to get a win. So you got to try to balance yourself.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. I had Marquise Addison on here, and he said he watches it like right after, the games right after.
Yeah.
I personally have to take. Sometimes, if it was a great game, I'll watch it right after just to chop the film up. But especially after like a couple bad losses or something, it'll take me a couple days as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So, what were your stats? How do you feel like you ended the season? What were your stats like?
Man, I had toward the toward the end of the season, that's when I really got it going. I had some really big games. I want to say I averaged 17 or 18 and 11,
Mm,
maybe a double double. If I'm right, maybe 16, 17. Had a couple big games, 30s and 15s. Yeah, man, it was once I got comfortable with the team, understanding my teammates is when I really got it going. Uh, our coach ended up quit actually.
mm.
So after he quit midseason, after a loss, we lost the game by maybe 4 points. Came in the locker room, talked in Turkish for a little bit, walked out the locker room, and they said he didn't. My teammates were just kind of sitting there. I'm like, what happened? What'd he say? He quit. So we probably had, man,
Yo,
quit in the middle. Wow, man.
yo,
Wow. So we probably had 7 games left, and from there we just played free. It was like, what do we have to lose at this point? So yeah, man, it was an interesting situation. Very
did the
interesting.
what did the assistant coach kind of fill in for the rest of those 7 games?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The assistant stepped up, ran practices. Uh, I'm not gonna say he quite knew what he was doing like the other coach, but we had the freedom to just kind of play
Did
in
he
the
even
last couple
tell
of games.
y'all?
So
Did he tell y'all like
said
y'all? I don't mean to cut you off, but I know that you said that he quit in Turkish, but he didn't say nothing in English.
nothing, not a word.
Did he
He
speak
talked
English?
in Turkish. Yeah, I mean not the greatest, but we could have small conversation.
Yeah.
But literally just came in yelling in Turkish, walked out. Me and my American teammates sitting there like, what'd he say? Man, he said he quit.
Oh
And that
my!
man didn't show back up to the gym. Never
Never.
saw the man again. Never saw him again.
Wow. See, that's that's crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah, bro. I've had some wild, some different experiences, man, in this game.
Let's take a quick pause in today's episode. I want to give a big shout out to ATG, aka Knees Over Toes Guy. He has created the ultimate training system that has helped my body tremendously, and hopefully it can do the same for you. With this ATG program, it has bulletproofed my tendons, my ligaments, and worked all the smaller muscles around my ankle and around my hips and my shoulders. That has allowed me to honestly move a lot more freely on the court and made my recovery time a lot less. Beautiful thing about the ATG program is that you don't need any equipment at all. You can use free weights if you want to, but again, the best thing is it builds a foundation for your body. So, you know, he has programs where you don't have any weights. He has programs where you can throw weights on for those that are more experienced. And the another beautiful thing about the ATG program is that anybody can do it. You don't have to be sports specific. You don't have to play any sports at all. You could be, you know, anybody that's having hip problems, ankle problems, shoulders, any mobility deficiencies that you may have in your body. The ATG program is 100% able to alleviate any pain and is able to help you with your overall mobility. I rely on the ATG program in the off season and during the season. Like I said, just because they have different programs and different variations and forms of exercises that you're able to do. So you are able to start, you know, wherever your body is. If you're serious about taking your athleticism to the next height, or if you just want to alleviate some hip pain and, you know, have some overall good functional movement, I highly recommend the ATG program. And the beautiful thing about it is you can get 50% off of your first month with the link in the description, and I'll leave it below. Let's make your body bulletproof together.
Yeah, that's why we here, fam, because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
insane. So after that year, where did you land?
Went to Japan.
Yeah, how was that?
Man, I love Japan, man. Was playing B2. You know, they have three leagues: B1, B2, B3. I signed with the B2 team. Yamagata Wyverns.
Hmm.
Uh, and I honestly thought I would play the rest of my career in Japan. I love the professionalism. Japan is known for being very efficient when it comes to work, hard workers. So, um, got there mid-August. Um, start training camp, and I just realized the professionalism of it. Like, you ask for something, the next day you got it.
That's
Within reason.
yeah.
You ask for something the next day. You don't have to ask 2 and 3 times for something that you need, something essential. Um, just the production of the league is very professional. Um, you play 60 games. So, everybody wants to play more games in practice. So the schedule is pretty much the same every week where you play back to back Saturday, Sunday. You have your Monday off. Tuesday be a recovery day, treatment, shots, not a real practice. And you practice Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday you got shoot around. You got, your shoot around, your whatever your coach does for, the day before the game, and you right back at it. So,
Dang, that's
yeah,
not
man,
that.
not at all. I mean, obviously the back to backs can get tiring,
Yeah.
but in the sense of if you feel like you don't play up to your standard on Saturday, you turn right back around and you can get right back to it on Sunday. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you're playing the same team both games, so you know, one team might blow the first team out on Saturday, and Sunday you make your adjustments and you win. So it's like you never really know, what you're gonna get. So yeah,
Hmm.
man, it was great.
So you
Yeah,
said Japan is probably the most professional place that you've ever played in by far.
yeah, by far.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't heard a bad thing about Japan at all, bro. Whether
Yeah,
it's B1, B2, or B3, I haven't heard a bad thing. Like all three leagues are top tiers. I know
yeah,
we're not talking about money, but I heard salary wise, you could get the same on at the B3 league as you can on B2 and B1, depending on the
yeah,
league. I mean, depending on the club. And so,
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, how do you feel like the competition was there in Japan?
I mean, competition is great. Especially like the B2 level. Guys know how to play. It's a lot of, I say a lot, like I had several teammates that played B1 at a younger age and then, moved down to B2. So, we had a good group. My other American was Torian Graham. He played at, Arizona State. So I knew him from JUCO. We played against each other at JUCO. So going there, we knew of each other, competed against each other, plenty of times in JUCO.
Yeah.
Playing each other 3 times. So, going there was good. Had a good coach. Uh, I was also one of my favorite coaches. This is the coach I told you that the locals didn't quite like.
Mm-hmm.
So the dynamic of he really loved us, the Americans, the way we played our games, and was essentially telling the locals to, come off the ball, let the Americans make the plays. They didn't quite like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say it drove a division of the team because God still, everybody was still cool, but the relation with the locals and the coach just wasn't there. So it kind of put a strain on us early part of the season.
Yeah. How do
Yeah.
you how did you feel like how did you handle that situation? I know we talked about like the coaching part, but when it comes to the camaraderie and the team chemistry, and kind of like that's the underlying factor. Like how did you handle it?
It was kind of weird to navigate in the sense of, especially when you have a coach telling the locals just to give us the ball, and then the locals are kind of sitting there like, well, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
So, uh, just try to keep the relationship with my teammates good. Whether we were going out to eat, I'm still great friends with a couple of my teammates. So I played 3-on-3 with them last summer. We, whether it was going out to eat once a week, we always would go get sushi once a week, going to Costco together, just trying to, what I'm saying, show them like, yeah, we're with, obviously coach is saying this, but we're with y'all, at the end of the day, we're going to be the five on the court. So we got to have each other's backs.
Sure. So how do you feel like your
So,
staff there?
man, I started the season crazy hot.
Yeah.
First 4 games, I probably was averaging like 22 or 23 and 10 or 12.
Hmm.
And then after our 4th game in practice, got bumped by our other big going up, separated my shoulder.
Oh
So
man.
then I was out. Yeah, I was out for like a month and a half. We started the season, I want to say 2-2 or 3-1.
Hmm.
And then in that month and a half where I missed, we didn't win a game. So, when I come back, trying to jump back right into where I was, trying to get not necessarily shoot gun for my numbers, but I know the better I play, the more successful our team can be.
Mm-hmm.
And, it took me a while to get back in the rhythm of things, it was my shooting shoulder, my shoot arm. So
Mm.
trying to rehab that, um, rehabbing it constantly, uh, shooting so much, trying to keep your touch. At the same time, I'm coming off the injury, so it was kind of hard to navigate at some points, but
Yeah.
uh, got it back going after a while. It took me a little bit to get my shooting touch back, but I probably say after a month, got to where I was feeling comfortable. We got a couple wins. By about Christmas, I felt like we could get it turned around, and it's crazy. Played a game, got my career high.
Nice.
Had
After
like
that,
30. Yeah,
uh,
right after Christmas, got my career high.
what was it?
36 at the
Okay.
time. So in the game, I'm literally just jogging back on defense, just backpedaling. My guy goes to the corner, and I go to step. I just go to push off, feel my knee shift.
Oh no.
It's sore. It's sore, so I don't think much of it. Finish the game. It's the first of the back-to-back. So then it swells up a little bit. Nothing crazy, just kind of a small knot. Tell
Mm-hmm.
the trainer I play the next game. And then just progressively over the next month and a half. This is right before COVID. So this happens like this right before Christmas, 2019. COVID starts March. So just as COVID's starting to heat up, it just progressively starts getting worse. It's getting to the point where, like, if I don't sleep with my knee bent, um, if I don't sleep with my knee bent, my knee's locked. Like, there's no bend in it for the day. It's crazy.
Jeez.
So I'm
Is it?
just trying to
I don't mean to cut you
go
off.
ahead.
Is it the same knee that you had with the meniscus tear?
Nah, it was the other one.
Okay.
So, I just try to thug it out. I'm thinking it's maybe a calf strain or something, nothing too crazy because of where it was located. But they ended up going to get an MRI. They don't see anything. So I continue to play because I wasn't practicing a lot. It was more just trying to manage it so I could be ready for the games. Because our other big, he had got hurt. So I'm the type where if I can run and I'm not in too much pain, I'm going to play regardless. Like, it's
Hmm.
probably not good, but I have a high pain tolerance. So I was just trying to, thug it out for the team.
Hmm.
And it's probably February, warming up for a game. Gym's kind of cold. So like I went through a harder warm up than usual, stretches and everything. As soon as we start to warm up, gonna run, knee just gives out. So at
Hmm.
that point, I was like, I knew it was time. I had talked with the trainer about it. I knew it was time to shut it down. So this is right before COVID. I have surgery uh, March 5th. I want to say March 5th. And they found that I had separated my cartilage. So it attached from the bone. So I
Hmm.
was playing 3 months with detached cartilage. So essentially what was happening was when I was sleeping with my knee straight, the cartilage would float and it would catch in the joint to where I couldn't bend it.
Yeah.
So it was just, if I'd have known, you can't really see it on the MRI. It's one of those things when you're in the MRI, your leg straight, it's going to sit back on top of your bone. So it's not that they misdiagnosed. It's just that you couldn't have known until you went in.
Yeah.
Um, so got that cleaned up right before COVID. Uh, might have got home like March 20th. Just rehab from that point, rest of the summer.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, and I'm gonna ask you, how did Japan, how did that team handle your recovery process? You know, they gave you that time. I mean, you finished out the season,
Yeah.
so they blessed you with that time to get better and heal. Like, did they have great technology, great doctors, physicians, physiotherapists to help you out?
Actually, we did like our trainer. We had two trainers. He he was really good in the fact of kind of, I'm not gonna say protecting me from coach, but coach is like, oh, we going today? And he'd be like, nah, we need to rest it, get him ready for the game. He was good in that fact of he listened to me when I told him. He understood that like, oh, he's not lying. His knee's really bothering him. Because in some situations, especially as Americans, they think, oh, you just try not to practice.
Yeah.
But the trainer understood like, no, he's going through real pain and everything. So he was good about helping me manage it, talking to the coach, staying in good communication and seeing how I was feeling. And then we also had a secondary place we would go after practice where I could go get in the hyperbaric chamber, uh, get my dry needling, stem, massages. So yeah, it was the recovery with that team was really good.
Nice.
Um, really everywhere I've been in Japan, they do a good job of, you having your one or two trainers with the team, and then also outside of practice, you can go to recovery place and get whatever you need done.
Yeah. That's what's up,
Yeah,
man. That's
yeah,
very, very, like, and I'm happy to hear that they actually like gave you that time to recover, because like you say, in Europe, if you got an injury like that, man, they just gonna replace you. I
man.
don't necessarily, I wouldn't say that like European care, but I feel like they think more about the business rather than having some humility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And do you feel like the recovery that just goes into their efficiency as a country and as a league as a whole, like just how they conduct things?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, playing 60 games, you have to have top-notch recovery.
Yeah,
Because I mean, playing on Saturday, they'd always have us 30-minute massage slots after the game, just trying to do whatever they could to get us back for the next day. So I'm not gonna say it was the easiest season in the sense of it is hard playing back to back, because you're gonna go as hard as you can trying to get the win.
yeah,
But they do a good job of trying to giving you everything you need to try to get your body back where it needs to be. So you can perform at the highest level. Because better you feel, the better you play. Better you play, more wins you get. So they understand that for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Do you feel like you ever had any issue with Japan, like at all,
Um,
as far as like the business, like and how they conduct things?
Business, no, my bad. Nah, money's never been late. Um, I've only had my money late one time, and that was actually in Turkey.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, never had money late. Never have to worry about, like I said, you ask for something, it's quick. Only bad business part is they still, when it comes to like their banking and stuff like that, you always have to have some cash
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of places you'll go in, like a ramen shop, they don't take card, so you gotta
Mm,
have cash. But then their banking system still uses paper. They don't use computers that much.
mm,
So trying to that situation, we'd go to the bank and send our money home. The team wouldn't do it.
mm,
Um, so you're spending an hour just trying to send your money home, just
mm.
because their banking system is kind of archaic. I'm not gonna say archaic, but it's not quite what we're used to in the States, where everything's pretty quick. You go in,
Yeah.
you can get something done in 5-10 minutes. We're going and sitting in the bank for an hour on an off day, just trying to send our money home.
Mm.
But
Uh,
past that, I really can't complain about the business.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what. Yeah. I mean, it's always a give and takes, somewhere. You know.
yeah,
That's what's up, man. So,
yeah,
uh, so COVID hit, what, March 2020, right?
yeah.
And were you in Japan when it hit?
When it first started getting bad, I was in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
but they were talking about the lockdown in the States and everything. So I had my surgery March, I think March 10th.
You had it,
Um,
right? They let you out of
yeah, I
surgery.
had it in Japan. I had it in Japan. So in Japan, you stay in the hospital for a week usually a week when you have surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm 4 days in and I'm, checking the news constantly, seeing, what's going on with COVID. And I'm realizing, okay, I might get stuck here if I don't get out. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Japan takes healthcare, like health really serious, like public health really seriously. Like first road trip, we start playing games in September. We go on, bus rides, plane rides. They're handing out masks before COVID even was a thing. It's
Yeah.
just normal there. If you feel you have sore throat, any kind of cough, they're handing out masks to you. So, they were already kind of ahead of the sense of, taking care of other people. It's not always about you in the sense of wear a mask for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're real serious about it. So I'm like, okay, I probably should try to get out of here as quick as possible before I get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get back to the States probably on the 20th, about 10 days after my surgery. And then 3 or 4 days later, they locked the country down. So if you were there after the 24th, you pretty much were stuck
At the
after
house.
March 24th. No, if you're in Japan after March 24th, I think you were pretty much stuck for a while because there was no
Yeah.
flights in and out.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Mm.
Yeah. So
Well,
I was
dang.
kind of fortunate in the sense of getting out of there when I did, probably 4 or 5 days before everything got locked down.
Yeah. How was traveling after surgery? Was it tough for you?
It wasn't too bad because the swelling had came out.
Oh,
The swelling had came down pretty much all. My quad was going, but just explain to the people in the airport, the situation. So as soon as I'm getting off the plane, they have a wheelchair for me.
okay.
I'm riding the carts going through the airport. So it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all.
That's good.
I was
That's
able to walk the day after the surgery, so it wasn't one of those situations where I was on crutches. So yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. So it was like you said, it was. Do you feel like it was a minor surgery, just because it was like removing that small bone, those little fragments away from your knee? Yeah.
Now, it was a microfracture. So what they did is they went in and cut the piece of cartilage that was detached off, and then they drill holes in the bone to like make it bleed, and then uh, the bleeding causes new cartilage to grow. It's not the same as what you're naturally born with, but then it covers the bone, and uh, it's not the same cartilage like I said, you're born with, but it's a coating over your bone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of similar to what Amar Stoudemire had,
Yeah.
Jason Kidd. So like it's one of those surgeries where it's real finicky. Like and there was points in I had surgery in March. There was points I got to June. I'm rehabbing 2-3 times a week with my guy in Nashville, and there was points where I didn't think I was gonna be able to play like ever again. Like I'm
Mm.
walking around in pain, just because like you're trying to rehab it and get it back strong, get your muscle back, but at the same time that you're essentially bone on bone until that cartilage starts to grow back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like June came around and I'm like, I don't know, like if I'm gonna be ready, like if I'm gonna be able to play again. But then, just kept going, kept treating it, kept doing what I had to do, trying to get it back as strong as possible. Was able to get back on the court late July. And then August came around and I felt like I was ready to go. Like it was literally maybe 3-week stretch where I went from not thinking I was going to be able to play to, okay, like I feel like I'm almost back to myself in the sense of, it wasn't hurting. I wasn't able to move, as good as I was just because I'm still building muscle back, building strength back. But it was like, okay, I've had a knee surgery before. I know I'm what point I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you never felt like you hit like a, do you ever feel like you hit like a wall, like mentally or physically when it comes to like the injuries, when it comes to uh teams trying to replace you? Do you feel like you've been even killed in your mindset?
I'd say the injuries were kind of hard to deal with because, like I told you, I had my career high of the game I got injured.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like I'm starting to get to my prime, and then injury comes, and it sets you back. You got to build back your whole, like, I had to build my whole leg back, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, the mental part of the injuries was kind of hard to deal with just because, like, you never know if you're going to fully get back to where you were. In my head, I'm like, it's time to go. I just had my career high. It's only up from here. I'm in B2. I'm like, okay, if I keep doing what I'm doing next year, I'll be in B1. Go from that feeling to 3 months later, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play again. How the way
Yeah.
this feels, it's kind of hard to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But I've had injuries throughout. When we were at K State together, I had injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of bad to say, but I've gotten used to being hurt in a sense of, no pun intended, that I just kind of can mentally get myself through it. Like I treat it like a game in the sense of, okay, it's gonna take me 5 months to get back from this. So first month's the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? First quarter of the game.
Yeah.
You know, you're not always gonna come out hot. You're not always gonna come out hot. You might start the first quarter be down 10 points, but if you keep chipping away at it, by the third quarter, halftime, you can have an even game, and then you can end up blowing the team out. So I just had to get to the point of where I had to treat it like a game and know, like, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. At some point, it's gonna, what I'm doing right now, what I'm doing in this training room is gonna equate to me getting back on the court, get back to the level where I was at before I got hurt. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. I like that mentality, man. Kudos to you, bro. Real talk, because a lot of people can't really handle that. I mean, even like personally, like with my injuries, I got something going on with my elbows right now. It's just I got cartilage damage basically, and sometimes I can't bend my arm fully, and sometimes it's like you say how your cartilage gets stuck and you're
Yeah.
not able to extend that knee. It's the same way with mine. So I feel like I might have to do something after the season, but yeah, we'll see, man. I get those highs and lows mentally, man. That's crazy to go from a game high and then next thing you know you injured. So,
Yeah.
um, so how do you feel like? What was your situation like? Going from the rehab process. Now COVID is going on. Were you able to find your next job after you got healed in July? Were you able to find your next job pretty smoothly?
Yeah. I ended up signing with another team in B2. Like even injured, I had 4 great games against them. So I think we went 3-1 against this team. It's called Amori Watts.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to get signed probably the last week of July. Um, So going into that, I don't at this, in retrospect, I don't think I was quite ready to get back into the full swing of things. But what kind of helped was they knew the situation with my knee. They were good about understanding that I'm still, rehabbing in a sense, getting my leg back strong. So when I got there, in Japan, you had a 2-week quarantine as soon as I got there. So in that 2 weeks, I was able to, still keep treating my knee. They gave me exercises to do. Was able to get out on the track, get in shape. So they were good about early on understanding that I'm not quite 100% there, and just let me build to get back to 100% before the season started. So it was good. I got there a little early. Usually I try to get out of the States the last week of August. So I got there maybe August 10th, just knowing I needed a little bit more time to get acclimated back to playing again. But yeah, it was maybe a little too early, but in the long run, I didn't necessarily have too much problems with my knee that year. It was good.
Yeah. How far were those teams away from each other? Do you feel like it was
Uh,
the next town over, or you feel like it was some hours away?
it's like maybe 5 hours. So Amori, so the main island in Japan is Honshu. It's where Tokyo is.
Mm-hmm.
Amori's at the very top of the island. So the drive from Amori to Tokyo is 10 hours. So Yamagata is right in the middle.
Okay.
So, kind of far away from everything. So in the sense of COVID, it kind of helped us. We didn't have a COVID case the whole year, where pretty much every other team in the league had a COVID case, just because we were so far away from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But Amori wasn't necessarily a bad city. It's just Japan took COVID so seriously that you weren't able to move around and do things like you wanted to,
Yeah.
When I was in Yamagata the year before, off days, we had a city called Sendai, which was nice, right on the ocean. We're taking an hour train ride to Sendai and going to getting food, going to the malls, going to like the little attractions, arcades and stuff like that. But when it came to Amori, there was really none of that. So it was practice the apartment, rehab place. There wasn't any, I'm not going to say fun. At the end of the day, we're playing basketball, we're doing what we love, but weren't able to experience the city as much as I was in years before,
Yeah. So what would you do as far as food? Like, how did you maneuver through the stores? Did they like let you in like 5 at a time, something like that, or how did they do it?
Uh, by the time I got there, there was no restrictions really on the stores, as long as you just had to wear a mask everywhere in public.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're not wearing a mask, people looking at you crazy out there.
For real?
Yeah. So past that, there wasn't much. Just had to wear a mask everywhere. You know, Japan's known for the 7-Elevens, the convenience stores. So finding food is, I could eat every meal at a convenience store. I'd have a 7-Eleven and be comfortable. Food
Was
was
it good
good.
to do that in the States?
Man, it's not like it's a complete 180 from the States, man. The
For real?
quality is great. Yeah. I guarantee you talk to anybody that's played in Japan, they can tell you they can eat every meal at a 7-Eleven.
Nah, that's crazy.
Because every day they bring it in. Every day they bring it in fresh stuff. It's not sitting around. If it sits there for a day, they just throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Like they have like fried chicken and like stuff like that in the store every day. They brand new oil.
Yeah.
So it's like actually a good quality food. So it's like it's probably not the healthiest, obviously, because of fats and sugars and stuff like that. But the quality of the food is really high.
Yeah. Nah, I can't imagine eating a 7-Eleven in Dallas and trying to think I'm gonna eat a
Yeah,
7-Eleven. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, man. When I first got out there and they're telling me, yeah, we're going to 7-Eleven to get some food, I'm like, what? Because I'm thinking of gas station food in the States. I'm like, I wouldn't touch it. But then you go there and try one thing, okay, this is different. There's so
Yeah.
many options. It's different.
I seen something, on the internet where they got like you can make like a fresh smoothie there or something like that.
Yeah.
They like you just
Go
got a
into the freezer section
fruit there
and then they
already.
got the fruit and everything in the cup. You just put it in the machine, hit the button with which smoothie you got, and it does everything for you.
Oh man, that's tough.
Same with the coffee machine. It's just like their technology is just different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the wildest experience that you had technology wise being there?
The first week I got the Yamagata, first week in Japan, we go to the team office and I meet the president and everything. And there's the receptionist is a robot.
Nah, this is
It's like a the receptionist is a robot.
yeah,
Then the next week we go out to eat and the waiter is a robot. You order your food off a tablet, the food comes and it comes rolling in on a robot. You
yeah,
take it off, hit the button, the robot goes back. Like
yo.
it, yeah, it's different.
So they already advanced, like they been
Yeah,
had technology.
yeah,
Yo, that's
like
crazy.
yeah.
So when you say the receptionist is a robot, was it like on some iRobot type shit, or was it kind of like rolling, like how you said like how you said your waiter
It
was?
was kind of rolling. I'm not gonna say it was an AI like you can talk to it, but like I'm assuming that you hit the buttons or whatever and it tells you what to do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Like it's not like gonna have a conversation with you, but it's gonna get you where you need to go.
yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
still though, bro. That's different.
yeah,
That's and that's why you say like the recovery aspect there is already just like top tier because they got everything
yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's
And like I had never really did acupuncture before I got there, and like it's something that I still do now. Like it's part of my routine, just because like it's just so much types of treatments that they do there that necessarily you wouldn't see in the states, but it's effective. Like hyperbaric chamber. I barely even heard of hyperbaric chamber, but say you have a little cough or you have aches, you get in, you sit in there and it just pumps pure oxygen in. So you
mm-hmm.
get pure oxygen for an hour. You get out the next day, you feel great.
Mm.
Like it's crazy. It's like it's something that I personally would want to buy for myself, even after I'm done playing, just because there's so many health benefits to it. Uh, you could be like I said, you could be sick, have a little cold, go sit in that for an hour, and the next day
Yeah,
you good.
yeah.
Like
And
so,
go ahead.
no, I'll finish.
No, so with that hyperbaric chamber, that's the one that everybody be like going on LeBron about, right? It's where like it's a big
Yeah,
thing, lay down in it for an
yeah,
hour. You can read a
yeah,
book, do whatever in
yeah,
it, like getting like that oxygen, you solid.
yeah. Like you just lay in there, be on your phone, do whatever, take a nap.
Dang.
And, yeah,
You
man, it's legit.
some people got that at home? Like you could buy
Yeah, like
that.
you could buy it. It's expensive.
How much is
It's
it?
expensive, probably a couple thousand.
Mm,
But like, I mean, they have cheaper versions, but I don't necessarily know whether the cheaper version is as good as a more expensive one, whether it's just a name brand generic type thing.
mm-hmm.
But I've been places in the states where like a couple places in the states and was able to do it. It's a little expensive in the states, obviously, because overseas you're not paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's worth it. It's completely worth it to me. I saw real benefits from it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So how was your time at Amori Watts, like basketball wise? I know you was coming off injury. How you feel like you did though?
I feel like I played well. Stats wise, might have been like I think I was like 18 and 9, 17 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Um, team wasn't that great, honestly. We had a struggle of my first year in Japan. The rules were you could have two imports play. They could be on the floor together at the same time. You could have as many imports as you want, but only two could dress for the game.
Mm.
Then my next year, when I played with Amori, they changed the rule to where you could dress three, but only two could be on the floor at the same time. So I'm coming off of major knee surgery. And we have one guy, Orlando Sanchez. He's Dominican. He had a hard time getting his visa situated. So we played basically the first 2 months with two imports.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing 35 a game coming off a major knee surgery.
Mm.
So that was kind of a shock to my system in the sense of, like I said, my body was, we had three, it would have been a little, if we had all three of us, it would have been a little different. But coming off that knee injury, my body wasn't quite ready to play 35 minutes a game. So the first couple months, my body was pretty beat up in the sense I'm just getting myself back in this, not necessarily game shape, but my body's catching up,
Just
to
yeah,
the stresses of a season. And then
yeah,
on top of that, I'm playing 35 minutes a game.
yeah.
So, I had aches all over, because my knee is weak, I'm overcompensating. So
Hmm.
I get tendonitis in the other leg, then my back, start having back spasms, little stuff like that. Just like a snowball effect of one thing hurts and I'm overcompensating on the other side and something else hurts. So, probably the first 3-4 months of the season, it was just kind of managing my body, trying to get myself back, in full shape. And then, I'm not going to say it's fortunate because you never want people to get sick, but we had back-to-back weeks where teams had COVID cases. So we had 2 weeks of pretty much canceled games. So
Okay.
we were able to get an extended period of time off,
Hmm.
and it gave my body time to recover.
Yeah.
So that probably was January, maybe early February. And from that point on, my body felt good. I felt like I really caught my stride toward the end of the season. Um, One of my other guys ended up getting hurt. The other American got hurt, so we were back to playing with two. But
Hmm.
fortunately, I had that time, 2-3 weeks where my body was able to catch up to, the season and was able to finish the season strong. So
That's
it was,
that's very
yeah,
fortunate. You have 2 weeks. I mean,
yeah,
unfortunate for other people, but for you,
yeah,
that's good. So you feel like you finished out very strong. You feel like you finished
yeah,
out where you need to be.
yeah, for sure. Like, my numbers are good. Um, we got a couple more wins and we got a couple wins toward the end of the season. Uh, for me that year, it was more about just trying to finish the season healthy,
Yeah,
coming off what I came for. So coming off of what I had happened. So, yeah, man, it was, it was a hard season since my body was catching up. We didn't get as many wins as I felt like we should have, but overall, I feel like it was a good experience.
yeah, that's what's up. So, last thing about Japan is really this is I know this is food wise, man, because I told you I'm really adamant on food and the different cultures. Do you feel like the sushi there is the best sushi that you've ever had?
It doesn't compare, bro.
Yeah,
It doesn't compare. Like, because you gotta think it's an island, so the fish is fresh every day,
yeah,
and like the sushi style they have there, they don't necessarily do like California rolls like what we have in the States. It's more nigiri, where it's just a piece of rice with a piece of fish over top.
okay,
So it's just we go to the conveyor belt sushi places. You get 2 pieces of sushi for $1 basically. Um, so many different types of options. You got tuna, salmon, squid. I was trying stuff I never thought I would try. Squid, eel.
yeah,
Um, but it's just like, it's sushi's created there, so it's the home of it. So it's like, it's just another level. Like, I joke with my cousin. Me and my cousin, go to this restaurant in, Murfreesboro, where I'm from, pretty much once a week and get sushi.
hmm,
So I went to Japan, I had Japanese sushi, the real stuff. And then I go back there and I was like, this ain't nothing. I was like,
mm,
I'll eat it. I grew up with it. I'll eat it, but it's not nothing compared. I was like, you got to come over there and try the real
yeah.
thing, and you're going to understand. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez, nah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. So,
yeah.
what was your favorite? Like, what's your favorite style of sushi that you've had there? I know you said you've experienced.
Uh,
What was your go-to?
tuna, tuna sushi, like tuna and salmon, just raw. I never thought I would eat raw fish, but
Yeah.
the quality there is just so different that it's tuna raw, salmon raw, and then they have like hamburger steak. It's crazy. It's like a
Mm.
piece of you know what Salisbury steak is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's basically like that, but it's over the rice with like a little bit of mayonnaise on it. And
Mm.
I just tried it randomly one day, and it's probably one of my favorites. It's
Nah,
crazy.
that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
That's so. How was after your time in Japan? Where did you feel like you end up next year? Because of this year, what 2021, 22 season?
Yeah.
So, and what
Went to
is it
Bahrain.
as a pro? What year are you as a pro now?
Now I'm 9. This is my ninth.
Well, now you're on your ninth, but I'm saying that
Yeah, that
after.
was Six. That
Okay.
was year six, I think. Started year six.
Okay. So where'd you go after Japan?
Went to Bahrain, back to the
Bahrain.
Middle East.
Yeah. How was that?
You know, man, Bahrain's basically America in the Middle East, man. Like,
Oh, for real?
it's a small island, but there's a military base. I'd say a good portion of the population is American military. So there's a street where it's basically all American, like all American foods. It's kind of similar to Qatar where I go and get canes, for instance. We don't have canes in Tennessee, but I was eating canes in Bahrain.
They got a raising
Uh,
cane. Bahrain?
yeah, everything, anything you could think of.
Jeez.
All the fast foods, your cheesecake factories, American stores. So like it's easy. It's super easy to live and play there.
Okay. So navigating Bahrain wasn't really that tough.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Had a car. Pretty much all the imports have cars there. Nice apartment. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. I'd say the level of basketball isn't there
Mm-hmm.
unless the league is real top heavy. But the league is real top heavy. But living there is so easy.
Yeah.
So easy. Yeah,
Nice.
everything's pretty much new.
Mm-hmm.
New construction. It's literally like they went to the middle of the desert and just started building.
Yeah.
So it's a nice place to live.
That's what's up. So, man, how was you said the basketball there wasn't really that good. You said teams were just top heavy, but how did you feel like the play style was there? Do you feel like you had to adjust anything? Like feel like you had to coach
Um,
be way?
no, not necessarily. I had an older team my first year out there, so yeah, it wasn't too much of an adjustment. It's a faster style of basketball, a lot of fast break, high scoring games.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, it wasn't too much of an adjustment. 'Cause, I mean, I already played in the Middle East for a couple years, so I was kind of accustomed to how everything worked. So it
mm-hmm.
wasn't too bad.
How much did you average there?
Man, I was going crazy. It's a crazy situation that happened there too. I think I was averaging close to 30 and 12, 30 and 10.
Yeah, I
I
remember
was
seeing
going crazy.
he was putting up Shaquille numbers, bro. I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah,
Shaq, but I'm just he was
yeah.
dominating.
I was going crazy, man. It's a crazy situation that happened there.
What
So
happened?
we play our first game. We lose by like 5. Win the second game. So I had a teammate, right? We in practice, and I had one teammate that wasn't really, he wasn't going hard enough for that. So I said something to him. We get in a little small argument. Nothing disrespectful. Um, so we had a game. This maybe is Monday. We had a game maybe Thursday. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always super cool with one of my teammates. Like, still super cool with him to this day. My guy's father. He comes to my apartment the night before the game, and he's like, we're just chilling, playing the game. And he's like, bro, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, what's up? He's like, he basically told me like, this team is very political. He's like, there's guys that'll be friendly with you to your face, but behind closed doors, they're dogging your name, right? So I'm like,
This is
okay, that's no, huh?
This is a local guy telling you this,
Local
right?
telling me
Okay.
this. So I'm like, okay. So I'm not really understanding what's going on at the time. So then the next day, this is right before the game, he calls me. He's like, come down. We live in the same building. He's like, come downstairs and talk to me. And I'm like, all right, cool. Just go down there and talk to him. Look, we're coming off a win. We're 2-1. He tells me, essentially the guy that I had gotten a little argument with is the president's nephew, right? Team president's nephew.
Uh,
And he tells me, yeah, he basically controls who the coach is, the team, the guy on the team, the nephew. And they're like, in the last 4 years, he's got 6 coaches changed simply because if he doesn't feel like he's getting enough minutes, if he's not getting the ball enough. If they're not playing them, he just goes to his uncle and like, get him out of there.
Mm.
Right? So he's telling me like, you got to do what you do. So the stat line you saw where I went to Shaq numbers was because I'm like, I got to secure my job.
Yeah.
Well, forget what he told me. I got to secure my job.
Yeah.
So I want to say it was 32, 20, and 6. So,
Yeah, bro.
if I remember correctly. Something crazy. Next day, I get a call. Oh, yeah, we need to have my car. They call me. Say, we need you to come to the office. We have to do some paperwork with your car. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not tripping. I got a whip, nice apartment. If you need me to come to the office and do some paperwork for my car, I ain't tripping. I get there. President looks me in my face and says, I think we're going to go a different direction. This is after a win. After I had 32, 20, and 6. After a win, Gip. Gives me
Bro.
the, they give you a release letter when you get cut, when they cut you. I'm cool with all my teammates. Except, I'm not even going to say I'm not cool with the nephew. We just had this one argument.
Yeah.
I look at the sheet. The reason for the release, it says problems gelling with the team. When I just had 5 of my other teammates in the crib playing 2K to out for the game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, problems gelling with the team. And at this point, I know the nephew-uncle situation with the president. So I'm like, it seems like I just have a problem gelling with your nephew. Quiet. I said just straight to the man, because at this point, I'm like, it seems like I just have a problem gelling with your nephew.
Yeah.
Quiet. So we 3-1. I just had a crazy game, and me and the coach get fired after a win.
He took the coach out too,
Got
bro.
the coach out of there.
Oh my
After
goodness.
a win, bro. Right?
That's nepotism, fam.
Man. That's, man. Right? After a win. So then, I'm sitting with my agents working, trying to get me another job. So I'm
Yeah.
just chilling for like a week, just trying to stay in shape. So I ended up signing with another team had a guy. He was coming in late, so they signed me for 2 games. So signed with them, 2 wins, but they couldn't keep me because they already had a guy in their contract.
Mm-hmm.
So then from there, I just go back to the crib.
Bruh, come on, fam.
Yeah, it's
Come
crazy,
on,
bro.
bro. That man was messing with your bread, messing with your
That's on my
come on.
livelihood.
Did you
After a win,
ever say anything to this guy? Please tell me you said something before you got on that flight.
then didn't see him. I never saw him. But the funny thing is, don't mean to jump ahead. The next year, I go back to Bahrain.
Yeah.
We had to play him. He
Mm-hmm.
had to see me. He had to
Mm.
see me, Gip. He had to see me.
You
I
took
had to
care.
catch him in the paint. I had to catch him in the paint. I had to catch him. I had to
Did
catch him.
you, get-
I had to catch him.
you got him one good time.
I got him. I got across what I needed to get across.
Bad, bad, bad. Yeah, big fella. I like it. I like
I had to, bro.
that.
I've
Crazy.
never been a dirty player. I hate dirty players, but you got to get yours after that.
Yeah, because that's messing with your
You
livelihood, your future, your
you
career,
feel
bro.
me?
Yeah, and
You
something like he can easily do that because he's already locked in. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they don't, and things like that. Like, people don't even really think about that, and he
yeah.
don't even care. Obviously, he don't care, especially if you say he's gotten coaches out of there before.
His job is secure. He ain't going nowhere because his uncle runs the whole club. He has
Yeah.
nothing to worry about outside of just trying to get as many minutes as he can, get as many shots up as he can.
What position did he
We
play?
like 3 couldn't put the ball on the floor. We played him. Man had like 6 turnovers
Yeah. Was he
in the
talking?
match. He might have played. He was terrible, bro.
Was he talking shit to
That's
him?
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So he
Had
felt you.
to.
Yeah.
He felt me. He felt me.
And you got the dub, right?
Lost. I was
Oh.
tight. I went
Yeah.
stupid when we lost. I went
Okay.
stupid when we lost.
What'd you
But
finish with?
like, I want to say like 25, 12, 15.
Okay.
But the crazy part is about it is before the game, I'm seeing all my ex teammates, guys running up to me, we dapping. And he just sitting over there like looking salty. Like I see in his face, like they all rock with me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And then before the game, the man tried to come up and shake my hand. He started. Man
Yeah.
started and sit right back down. Tried to come up and shake my hand. I was like, bro, if you don't get out of my face,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, bro, don't try to be buddy now after you didn't mess with my money. You feel
Yeah,
me?
bro. Yeah. Mm. So
Yeah.
I don't want you to tell the whole story, but you said you got him in the paint. Was it off a switch? Did he switch on you?
Off a board.
Off a rebound? Say less. Say less. I
Yeah.
already
Off a board.
say less. Say less.
Yeah.
That's so how do you feel like you finished that year out in Bahrain, that second year?
Man, we was playing good, man. I love that. Like me and that team had it was a great mutual relationship. I love my coach. He just kind of let me do my thing. I was one of the older guys on the team. We had a pretty young team. The team was Samahij. Uh, I think we were like, maybe 4-6, 4-7.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in every game though. In games we weren't supposed to be in necessarily. Um, Played really well, was having a good time. Um, yeah, man. Then another injury.
Oh man.
Another, another injury. Went up for a board. Actually, it was offensive rebound. The crazy part is, I'm not. You know me. You've known me since college. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
dunker. I went up with the board and I'm like, I'm dunking this when I get it. When I come back, I come down. I'm dunking this.
Yeah.
So I come down and I try to push off too quick. Knee buckles a little bit. Sprain my knee.
Ah.
So I come out the game. I end up finishing the game. We actually won the game. Went and got an MRI and it just was a sprain.
Okay.
But I was going to be out for a month. And the team was like, we don't really have the budget to bring another guy in and pay you. So like, we're going to pay you out and cut you. And then, but it was great. They were great about it. Paid for my rehab at the crib. Uh, Paid me out with no problems. Even like the last day I was there, I go to the gym for practice just to, say bye to the team, present me with a plaque. Uh,
That's what's up.
I can't say a bad thing about that team. It was great. Other than me getting hurt, that was a great situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It seems like besides the unfortunate injuries, it seems like you really had a overall great experience, playing overseas when it comes to and besides that one guy. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You haven't had like a bad time when it comes to like payments or when it comes
Yeah.
to that's what's
Yeah.
up,
Just
brother.
one time in Turkey, late payment, but it's one of them situations. I don't play for free. Bring me my checker, I'm sitting out. And check
Exactly.
was there Check was there the day before the game.
Yeah.
Uh, haven't had other than that one teammate. I haven't had any bad experience with teammates. Everybody's been cool. Um, Maybe not have won as much as I would have liked to, but past, not maybe compete for championships. I can't complain about my career. Other than not competing for championships, many championships as I like to, and injuries.
Hmm.
It's been good. It's been good.
Yeah. So what do you feel like is the latter? Do you feel like would you rather have, and I'm not saying like in hindsight, what's better or anything, but do you feel like you rather compete for championships and be in like maybe some crazy situations, or do you feel like, the path that you're taking right now, you're getting your bread, you unfortunately you losing, but you know what I'm saying, you putting up great numbers, you doing things the right way, people treating you right, like which one do you feel like, is better?
Man, the mental aspect, I would say I'd rather have some harder situations and win,
Yeah.
early. But I can't say it was the middle stretch of my career. I feel like after maybe Qatar to maybe this year, where it was kind of rough in the sense of coming off injuries, having to prove myself again. You know what I'm saying? Teams knowing like, okay, we got to see what he can do. If
Yeah.
is he healthy? As a big man, having a knee injury is a major red flag.
For sure.
So having multiple knee injuries and trying to bounce back from that, um, I would say I'd rather deal with, some of the BS and win, but, everything happens for a reason. So, just try to keep the positive aspect of that, positive mindset when it comes to that, and
Hmm.
just, still at it 9 years later. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to win, trying to get a chip.
Yeah. Which is still I mean, it's still a blessing in itself. I mean, 9 years overseas, bro. Like, I think the average
Yeah,
is, as a professional in basketball, is maybe 5. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm happy to see that you still in the game and overcoming and persevering like all these injuries, you know. And I mean, just like you said, we've known each other. I've known that's been one of your things, and like I said, I'm very happy to still see you playing the game, bro. It's still a blessing, you know.
yeah.
So,
At the end of the day, we still doing what we love.
hey, at the end of the day, and you still get, and we getting paid for it too, man.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So how do you so now what? It's about 2023.
Yeah.
Um so where were you at? Where'd you go after Bahrain?
After Bahrain, I came back to the crib from like January to March, and then I
Mm-hmm.
went to Japan, played 3-on-3 throughout the summer, just trying to get back in shape. And then I signed short term deal with the team in Japan B3, Kanazawa Samurais. It was just a 1 month contract. They had another guy with the visa problems, so played with them for a month. Successful. I think I averaged 15-9, 15-10 in a
Mm-hmm.
month. I think we went to we 1-3, had one blowout win, which was good, and then the rest of the games were close. And then from there, I just stayed in Japan. Try to stay overseas. It's
Yeah.
easier, especially in Asia, to just stay in Asia trying to get a job.
Yeah.
So I just stayed in Japan, stayed in Tokyo for 2 months, just working out, staying in game shape, trying to stay in as much game shape as possible, waiting on the next situation. And then got the call to go to Indonesia a week before the season started. They wanted to change. They had signed the guy and wanted to change him. So week before the first game, got the call. Fortunately, I stayed in great shape, so I got there and just able to jump right in. With missing training camp, and started the season there. Started well. Started really well. Honestly, last year was the best statistical year of my career. So honestly, I always say the base of that was playing 3-on-3. Just
Yeah.
the cardio of 3-on-3 is different. It's a completely different game than what we're used to, but that's the best shape. Last year, that's the best shape I've ever been in, just from playing
Mm-hmm.
3-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to jump right in and get going from the jump. So it was nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, talk a little bit about that experience because I remember seeing you on Instagram and you was playing and you was thugging it out. I'm like, dang, like is my man's ever gonna go home? You know what I'm saying? But it
Yeah,
seemed like you stayed in Asia, and I
yeah,
heard a lot of good things, like as far as like staying in that location because the traveling is hard, you know. But
yeah, man.
about that in a little bit. How was, like I said, how was that 3-on-3, that 3-on-3 experience?
Man, I loved it. One of my teammates from my year in Yamagata, his family owns the 3-on-3 team that I play for.
Okay.
So just we had a great relationship with Yamagata. So they started the team at this point 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
2021. So most 3-on-3 teams in Japan will have one import. So they had never had an import before. So I was their first guy. So stepping into that situation was great. I already kind of knew the family a little bit, knew his parents. We were really close. So it was a great situation. It's right outside of Tokyo, right on the beach. So 3-on-3, we practice 2 or 3 times a week for an hour and a half. And that's really all you need because the game is so fast paced. Like I said, best shape I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so how it works is you play 8 tournaments, and based off how you start with pool play. Um, you'll play your pool play 2 games. It's 4 games to win the championship in a day. So you'll play 2 games. the top team from that pool. So say you win both your games, you move on to the semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
You win the semifinal, play the championship, and then based off where you finish, how many points you scored, your team gets a certain amount of rating points. So you play your 8 rounds, and then at the end of the season, the top, how many teams? I want to say the top 14 teams in Japan, you make it to the playoffs, but then there's also teams in Australia, Thailand, and the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the same league. So when it comes to the playoffs, all the playoff teams meet in Tokyo and you play the playoffs. So it's another 1 day of pool play where you play 2 games. Top team from the pool moves on to the quarterfinal, and then you play until you lose.
Yeah.
So we had a really successful year. First year they made the playoffs. Then we made it we beat the top team. It's one of the top teams in the world out there. Beat them. It was kind of an upset. It wasn't it was an upset. No one was expecting us to win. Knocked them off. So we progressed to the semifinal, lose the semifinal in a buzzer beater. So we didn't win the championship, but for their first year making the playoffs, makes it to a semifinal, and then from the semifinal being able to compete in the world tour. I mean, it was a success. So yeah, man, it was a great experience.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I know obviously 3-on-3 and 5-on-5 is a little bit different, but do you kind of feel like breaking down the game to a 3-on-3 aspect, you kind of got to have a little bit of knowledge when it comes to basketball?
Yeah. I would say it's different. The principles are different of the game just because obviously you only have 3 players on the floor. There's so much more space. So the help side is different. Rotation is completely different.
Yeah,
It's more physical. They let a lot more go.
absolutely.
So a call you're getting in a 5-on-5 game, you're not getting in a 3-on-3. They just you looking at the ref. They just looking at you like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
What else? It helped my one-on-one game a lot because it's a lot of one-on-one. There's so much space. It's like you got to be able to get a bucket on your man. At the same time, you got to be able to get a defensive stop. So I feel like the combination of the cardio aspect, where my cardio was great, being able to play essentially playing ones the whole season. I was able to get my bag deeper, and then also defensively being able to slide your feet better. You got to be able to stay in front of your man with all that space. You got a whole side of the court where it's just you and your man. I felt like the combination of those 3 was able to propel me into Indonesia and help me have a great season last year.
Yeah. So you said like that summer when you stayed in Japan, you was with them, and you feel like all your conditioning, all your workouts came from the 3-on-3 aspect? So like you never really had to like look up like, hey, like, all right, I'm in Japan right now. I need to find a strength and conditioning coach. I need to find, a skills coach. I need to find, a recovery place. Like with that 3-on-3, they basically took care of that for you.
Yeah, like we had team had their own weight room, nice, everything pretty much brand new, everything you could need.
Okay.
So weight room was covered. They built the weight room into one of their offices. We had a recovery guy, sponsor. We'd go to him twice a week, get the needling, massages, stem, and then like had our own court. So we would only practice Wednesday and Thursday. We didn't have a tournament. We practiced Saturday. So I was able to get down there and shoot, do whatever I needed to on the court whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a gun, so I was able to get my shots up.
Okay.
So
Dang.
in
That sounds,
the sense of
bro.
yeah, man, it's a setup. It was a setup, man. Like in the sense of the professionalism of it, it was treated like 5-on-5 with
Yeah.
everything, all the amenities. But then it has the more relaxed nature of 3-on-3, where you're only practicing 3 times a week. So I was able to keep my body feeling good. Um, having a good relationship with my teammate and his family owns the team. There was always good communication with there's a day where I'm not feeling hot. You just sit down, There was never a problem with, that type of thing. It was like I said, I'm potentially gonna go play again this year because it's just such a good experience. It just most of the time we go home in the summer and we'll train kids or do whatever, but you're not making the money you make overseas.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to play 3-on-3 is like you're staying in shape, you're still competing for something, and you're also making money. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's a win-win. And then
Yeah.
my situation being so close to Tokyo, like Tokyo is a hell of a city. Like I'm an hour from Tokyo on the train, 45 minutes to an hour. I have a car. They got me a car. I'm 20 minutes from the beach. So it's like
We
you have
can.
everything you need.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? There's nothing I can complain about.
Yeah. Nah, that's what's
Yeah,
up, bro. I heard the
yeah.
transportation in Japan is pretty efficient too. When it
So
comes.
efficient.
Yeah.
Like, in the States, like, say you want to catch a bus or something in a city, and they say it's delayed. A major delay in the States might be 30, 45 minutes. In Tokyo, in Japan, in the trains, a major delay is 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you'll look up on the board and it says major delay, but the train's only coming 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's
Yeah.
just everything about Japan is efficient, and because their work culture is so like extensive. Like they're hard workers. So like for instance, the 7-Elevens is about getting people to get to the 7-Eleven, get their food, and get back to work. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why the food quality is so good. That's why a major delay on the trains is 5 minutes because they got to get people to and from work as efficiently as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's just efficient there. It's crazy.
That's Yeah, that seems like honestly an awesome setup to be in and to be a part of, man. And I think
Yeah,
that ties into another kudos to you, man. Your professionalism, bro. Your professionalism is getting you these amazing opportunities to really stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? And building that chemistry with other people. That's what's up,
that's
bro.
one thing I can like equate to like Damon, like Damon,
Mm-hmm.
in Finland. Just having conversations with him. At that point, we're teammates. I'm 23, a rookie. He's 40 years old. He's been through it. He's had every experience you could possibly probably think of as a pro. So just conversations with him explaining to me, like, regardless of the situation, um, you got to be a pro. Like, people talk. Like, you never know who's going to see you in what situation, what opportunities might come from you just being a good person, acting professional, whether you play 5 minutes or 30 minutes, how you come, ready to work is important. So I equate that to him. And also, in Slovenia, I had an older teammate, Dejan Chut. He was, I think he's Bosnian. So he was
Mm-hmm.
kind of an import, but you know how Europe works. You really don't count as an import. So
Yeah.
he was older and he was able to we lived in the same building or hotel. And his conversations with him, just talking about, staying in the weight room. That's something I had to learn. Like, K State, you're going to lift weights 2, 3 times a week. But as a pro, especially when I was in Slovenia, it's like, that's on you. So
Mm-hmm.
keep your body where it needs to be. You got to stay on top of the weights. He was kind of helping me with that. So I had some good vets at an early age to, help me with the understanding professionalism is important. And, it goes a long way. You never know who's watching or who talks.
Yeah, man. Shout out to those two guys, man. They definitely helped
Yeah.
you, man. See that. So where are you at this year right now?
I'm in Mongolia.
How was that? How has that been for you so far?
It's been great. Team I went with last year was top two. Lost the semifinal game 7. So, um, they kept the core of their team, point guards, local MVP. Um, so coming into this situation, I knew it was going to be good in the sense of, uh, they brought in me and Ernest Ross. He's my other import. So we're older, so we understand the game a little bit. And we have a kind of a younger team, but coming off the success they had last year, we were able to just fit right in with the team. Great group of guys. Everybody works hard. Nobody's selfish. Guys know how to play. It's a situation where I don't have to explain the guys' rotations. Guys know rotations.
Yeah,
Guys are in spots before they're supposed to be.
yeah,
So it just makes the game easy. Like we started the season great, 2-0. Just trying to build off what they did last year, man. You know, try to progress farther, get to the finals this year and win it. So it's been a great start so far. Loving being here. City's nice. They set me up well. Yeah, everything about the situation has been good so far.
That's what's up, man. I think I actually know a guy that used to play for them. I don't know if the name ever rings bells, but Darrell Summers.
Yeah, he was here maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah,
I played him
yeah,
in Mexico, and that's one of the places. I think he's been there maybe twice already. And
yeah.
so he said a love for Mongolia and that in the club as well. What's the club name if you don't mind me asking? I know it's Apes on your jersey, but what's the real
Yeah.
name?
SG8.
SG Apes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what's up. So what can we expect from you this year?
Man, started off well. I'm averaging 16 and 11. Um, for me, it's all about the championship at this point. I've never been the type to really just gun for numbers. I'm more about just trying to win, especially in some of the situations I've been in. So this team, man, I can see it. Like, you know, beginning of the season, you have a feeling of how the season should go based off, you know, past experiences and everything. And with this team, I just feel like we got everything we need to get it done. You know, they had the experience coming off last year of losing game 7 in the semifinals. And I feel like they're hungry to make that next step. And, I'm hungry. You know, like I said, I've never won a championship. So, um, year 9, just trying to get it done, man. So it's a good mixture of guys. The chemistry is great. Um, our first 2 games, locals led us in scoring.
Yeah.
So it's like you have that happen. It just makes your life so much easier. You know what I'm saying? So life is so easy now, man. So it's like, I swear I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Coming off some of those other experiences, like this experience, like, man, this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're going to every game thinking we should win. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's been good.
Yeah. And
So
you said it's a mixed group of guys as far as like age. You know that you said some
yeah,
people older, some are younger. Majority is
yeah, we
older.
have majority is under 26. So me and Ernest, we have 4 guys over 30, and then pretty much the rest of them are 23, 26. But like the MVP, 23-year-old. But just
Okay.
his feel for the game is he's our point guard. His feel
Mm-hmm.
for the game is great. So, you know, as a big, you got to have that relationship with your point guard, the chemistry. So just playing off of him is just like, for instance, like I don't think he sees me and he'll drop it off. And sometimes I ain't even ready to catch it because I don't think he sees me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like stuff like that. So just, grateful for the game. We have a couple guys that are just dogs on defense. They take pride in defense. So it's like, man, it's been good so far.
Nice. Well, it seems like you definitely in a great situation, and I'm definitely
Yeah.
looking forward with you, definitely.
Yeah.
So, another couple questions.
Uh,
Um, one question I do have for you is, what are I personally know, but so for some people that may not know you very well, what are some of the hobbies that you have overseas?
man, cooking. I call myself a chef. I call myself a full-time hooper, part-time chef.
Yeah, yes, sir. Dude, that was the number
So
one.
yeah, I'll be whipping, man. I've been whipping since I was young, man. So, uh, cooking. I mean, you know, being overseas, you got to find ways to fill your time. So cooking is one thing that I started doing to not be bored. Gives you something, you know, to do after practice. Still be on the game, video games. You know, I go crazy on FIFA like you used to remember.
Oh man, we definitely had some battles in FIFA, and
Yeah, go
I wish
crazy.
I was still better than you, bro.
I don't know about that. We can run that. We can run that whenever. I'll send you the
We
PSN after the interview.
were running it now. I don't know, man. I got 3 kids, fam. I took off. You might cut me a little bit, but I do have a Nintendo Switch, and I played a little bit on FIFA, and I still got the feel, bro. I still got the
Okay,
feel. We'll see
we'll
though.
have to run it one day. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I like going around trying different restaurants, coffee shops. I got into coffee, in the last like 5, 6 years. So just
That's
try
the
to go
fan.
around trying, yeah, go
That's some.
around finding different coffee shops.
Yeah.
Even just exploring. Like last off day, I just literally just went for a walk, 20, 30 minutes, just exploring my area. I've only been here 3 weeks at this point, so still trying to learn. Find little grocery stores where I can find certain stuff that resembles stuff at home, or coffee shops that I like, bakeries. Um, I like going and seeing like historic sites, try to get the culture of places I plan. Um, what else? Try my hand at a little bit of music producing. I got a little drum
Okay.
kit type thing. I ain't gonna say I know what I'm doing, but it's something I try.
For sure.
When I'm bored, whip it out. Yeah, man. Listen to music. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. So, do you? Another question is, what do you feel like to describe your game? What would your 2K build be?
2K build. I would say all around power post,
Okay.
if that makes sense. In the
Yeah.
sense of I can shoot the three. I'm most comfortable midi with the midi. I can shoot the three at a pretty high clip. Put the ball on the floor, can pass. But at the end of the day, I'm 6'11", 280. At the end of the day, I'm ceiling.
Yeah.
Cross screen seal, layup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the bread and butter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I say all around power post.
Yeah. So they got you. Most majority of your career, I'm assuming that you played the four, right? They put you
I
at the
play
four.
more to five because of my
Okay.
height, but then I
Okay.
play more of a four role
Mm-hmm.
of where I'm given the opportunity to create and pass.
Yeah. So do they kind of mix you with more athletic bigs, athletic four men in a way?
Yeah, like my years in Japan, I had other athletic bigs.
Mm.
Um, my second year, he was taller than me, but he was more of a shoot the three. We kind of have similar games, but he just wasn't as big stature wise as me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, either I'm paired with a guard or paired with a forward that's athletic, a little bit more athletic. Because you know me, I'm not above the rim type guy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's what's up. Another question. Which country would you consider the best overall for your experience overseas?
I always say it's a tie between Turkey and Japan.
Mm. Okay.
I can't choose one or the other. Just because my time in Turkey, being so close to Istanbul, as you know, living in a city where you have options on an off day is a big part of being comfortable overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to go to Istanbul on an off day and not feel like I'm bored, there's always something new to see, whether I'm going to a new restaurant or going to see something historical,
Yeah.
was good. And then in Japan, it's just, food. I don't have a problem eating. Like, food's great. My last situation being, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour from Tokyo, able to pop in and pop out, having a car, being able to go to the beach. Um, yeah, I always say it's a tie between Turkey and Japan.
Yeah. That's what's up. Another question is, as big men, as we both are, we understand that our body is very, very important. How we handle things. I know, unfortunately, that you ran into some injuries throughout your career, but what are some things that you do? You have any activities, any other extracurricular things outside of basketball that you do, kind of like Pilates or yoga, or do you take your mobility very serious? Things like that.
In the summers, I do yoga like twice a week, like hot yoga.
Hmm.
And especially after my last knee surgery, I found like just having that mobility in my leg has helped since March 2020. I haven't had really any knee problems other than the sprain, and that was kind of a freak thing. Yeah, past that, I haven't had any problems with my knees, so I credit that to the hot yoga, and I do a lot more warming up and cooling down. I think the cool down is more important for me in the sense of like after practice, taking 20 to 30 minutes just to stretch to make
Yeah.
sure everything's limber and not tight. Because then going into the next day, I feel a lot better. My body's more loose, um, easier to get up for practice. You don't feel as beat up, the next day. So I definitely would say hot yoga and just more intensive stretching, making sure I stay on top of my mobility routine every day has been two big things.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so last question. I know that you say that you cook and you do things like that in the kitchen a lot. How important do you feel like diet is when it comes to being a professional?
Man, it's huge. Like, early in my career, I feel like on an off day, I would eat whatever I want, like after off day after a game. But then the next day, I still am sore. My body quite isn't recovered to the level of what it should be. And now I try to do more cooking so I can know what's in my food, what I'm putting in my body. I feel like my body recovers so much faster. Um, I just try to eat clean. Like I try to stay away from the sugars during the week, fried foods.
Hmm.
Um, like now if I go eat, say some chicken or some fried chicken or something, I just feel sluggish for the rest of the day.
Yeah, bro.
Like I feel like my energy isn't there. Even the next day going into practice, I can still feel I guess the grease from the chicken or whatever. Um, so I definitely would say I've been more intentional on eating clean. Being a big man, I put on weight easily, so that's something I have to, watch too.
Hmm.
Um, just trying to maintain my weight, try to keep it as, I feel like I play best between 290, 280, so I try to keep my weight in between that range. Um, yeah, man, just it's all about recovery, man. The cleaner you eat, the easier it is to recover. The faster you recover, the better you play. Or the better you feel on the court, the better you feel on the court, the better you play. And it's just a trickle down effect from I feel like from eating. So it's real important.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So is there anything else you probably want to share to your fans, to your people that's watching, people tuning in?
I'd say, man, say appreciate everybody, that's helped through the journey. Thank you. I mean, coming into K State, like, just going up against you every day. I mean, you had been there for 4 years, 3 years. So like coming in is like the competition, I'd say.
Hmm.
Competition is only going to get everybody better. So I mean, when I first got there, you were a little bit injured, but then you come back and it's like, okay, I really got to step my game up. Gip knows what he's doing. I'm still learning, the Big 12 game. So I say just competition for you, especially against you, was good. It helped me like take the jump, understand like it's a different level of basketball between the A-Sun and the Big 12. You feel me?
Yeah.
Uh, thank the fam. Uh, obviously thank the fam. Wouldn't be
Yeah.
here without the parents, sister. Uh, always ride or dies. Win or lose, they're gonna be riding. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
My rehab people. My guy Kenny Chapman, my guy, got me back a couple times. Got me back right 3 times at this point. So I mean that's an important factor. I mean, like I said, I didn't think I was gonna be able to play again, and
Hmm.
he had the system for me. He got me back to where I'm at now. So gotta thank him. Uh, yeah, man, it's a lot of people, too many people to thank. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, that's what's up. I do want to say, I appreciate you, looking at the competition that me and you've had at our time at K State. Because for me, even I appreciate it as well. Like you said, I was injured. I just had my shoulder injury, and I seen what you was doing to Brandon. I seen what you was doing to the DJ and everybody. Like you was cooking, like you was hot. Who brought you in? I think Lowry brought you in, right?
Brooks.
Brooks did. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well. Well, yeah, man, I knew that, and this is something that I'm just sharing with you genuinely. I knew that you were definitely a great big, and you definitely brought a different feel to K State because you was, like you said, like 6'10", shooting the middies, doing your pick and pops, and so that was definitely a different dynamic that I knew that I had to prepare for. So trust me when I say when I'm on that bike doing my thing, when I was on the treadmill, like I was looking at you too, fam, and um one thing I do respect from the bottom of my heart that, you know, as competitive as it got, we never looked at each other as ops, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like we never took anything personal. Um, you asked me questions, I asked you questions. We fed off of each other with post moves, with defense, things like that. And so I do want to say I respect and appreciate you in that way, and even continuing to keep up with each other throughout our overseas careers, man. Like,
yeah,
um, I've had, people and teammates in the past where, they may look at you, insecure or may feel like, oh, well, this person's coming to step on my toes. I never felt that from you. And I could honestly say you probably never felt that from me. It was, you
for
know,
sure.
and also at the end of the day, like you said, anytime we had our battles, bro, we still come to the apartment, we play FIFA, we kicking it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So,
yeah,
shout out to you for that, bro. I do really appreciate that, man.
yeah. Same, my guy. Feel the
But
same
yeah,
way.
I really appreciate you taking the time here to share your story, to share your journey. It's definitely interesting, and like I said, hearing your ups and downs and your perseverance, man, it definitely helps me to keep going. Also, and I hope that it helps everybody that's listening.
Yeah. Appreciate you having me on, my guy.
Nah, no problem. Have a good one, brother.
Yeah, you too.
Me.
There you have it. Thank you to my guy Stephen Hurt for being on the show, and I appreciate him sharing his wonderful insight and journey when it comes to his professional overseas career. If you enjoyed this conversation and would like to hear more insights on other overseas players, be sure to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're listening on all podcast platforms, whether it be Apple, Spotify, or any other platforms, be sure to download and leave a review. Anything truly helps. Any type of feedback, any comments that you may have, any other players that you may want to listen to and hear their story. We'll be more than happy to reach out to that individual, and hopefully they'll be willing to be on the Four Pros podcast so you can hear their story. And more behind the scenes from Stephen Hurt, we'll be sure to leave his Instagram link in the description box, also his Eurobasket page and his Asia Basket page, so that you'll be able to follow his career, because I'm sure he'll be playing for a long time. So for those of you who want to stay in tune with these professional basketball players, always check the link in the description box, and we'll be sure to make sure everything's tagged on for you guys. So yeah, again, thank you for everybody who's tuned in. Thank you for all the fans and all the support that's continuing to be with us, as we grow. We're taking it one day at a time, one episode at a time, and we appreciate it. So be sure to stay in tune. Like I said, we come out with episodes bi-weekly. Thank you. We'll see you next time.